Hello, everybody, and welcome to Positive Fandom. Welcome to the Burnettwork, and welcome to the PGS Moving Image live watch party of the Golden Globe Awards in 2024. I am your host, RM, and it's such a pleasure to have Catherine with us tonight. Catherine, how are you?
Good.
So glad that you are here, Catherine. And we are here, guys. We're going to be watching along as the Golden Globe Award winners are announced tonight. We're doing this as a live watch party. There's a lot of you who are watching along who enjoy the Golden Globes, and we're glad that you're here with us. And Catherine, you and I were just talking about the similarities and differences between this Golden Globes and maybe what we traditionally know from the Golden Globes. From what I understand, this is going to be a very different year because we have a different governing body. It's no longer the Hollywood Foreign Press, but as you've mentioned, Catherine, it feels very similar in the way that they nominate and categorize everyone. Did you want to
Yeah,
elaborate?
like for instance, I saw, the movie Air is in musical or comedy, and it's like, well, it's not a comedy, it's a sports drama. Just because there might be a joke here or there does not mean the whole thing's a comedy. Why is it in there? And then you see other films that are counted as dramas. It's like, is that really a drama? It's kind of so it's kind of, they're, and you look at, oh, that's because they want this celebrity here, this celebrity here. So they're kind of doing the same, some of the same stuff as last time. And this year there was also an issue where 64 voters were threatening to boycott because they weren't going to be given tickets to the ceremony, or they're only going to be allowed to go to the watch party. And that
Mhm.
would affect that would account for 20% of the voting body. So they did increase the voting body quite a bit, because if 64 people is only 20%, because last time it was like what, like only 80 people in the foreign press. It's like, okay, you added more people, but it's still in a sense the same idea. Because it's like, if you're not having, because if it's a Golden Globes are specifically for the foreign press. So if they're not making the decisions, then who is, and why does the show still exist? It's kind of unclear, but okay, because like the last couple of years they couldn't even get people to carry the show on TV, because there's that old adage, you win an Oscar, you buy a Golden Globe. So we'll see what happens here.
I think that is very interesting. And, I think there's been a lot of shakeups when it comes to awards and how they're given and how they're categorized. And we're still seeing, as you said, some things that seem ill categorized and don't make any sense. And recently, from what I've heard, America Ferrara not being nominated for Barbie, there was like, chatter about that, but she's here tonight anyway, I believe. But I think we're still going to see things like that for a movie that's gotten, maybe I don't know how many nominations, 9. It was a lot. And
Yeah, I didn't agree with most of those nominations, but it's like, okay, because again, they're doing the popular thing. Same thing with their new category, cinematic and box office achievement. I'm like, what the hell is that? It's like, by definition, the movie with the highest box office is already a shoo-in for the win. And then, as long as it has a high critical score, which Barbie does, and that's in first, and then second place would be Super Mario Brothers, which had lower. I think it had a lower critic score than Barbie and Oppenheimer did. So it's just going to go to Barbie. It's like, why is that even an award? It's like that's kind of stupid, It's like, but it's their way of trying to stay relevant, and it's like, you're literally creating a whole new governing body to do this, adding all these extra voters. So it's like, what does it even mean anymore? Why is it even a thing? It's completely unnecessary.
well,
I
I
mean, no,
kind
none
of
of them are necessary, but it's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, what? Who are these awards for, and why do they still exist? I don't know.
yeah. No, this is a good question, and I think that award, that particular one that you mentioned, stems from the notion of the Grammy Awards, which is not the same thing, obviously, as Golden Globes. But in recent years, there's been discussion about whether or not the highest selling recording artist deserves an award, even if the governing body doesn't feel that they do. And I think that category was created to fill that need when it ever occurs. But in the case with Barbie, it kind of, maybe because it's nominated in so many other categories, it's not necessary to do that. And if anything, I would say Oppenheimer would be the one that would win, because it's a 3-hour film that still managed to make close to $1 billion, and they're still showing screenings of Oppenheimer. People are trying and desperately trying to book these screenings for Oppenheimer even after the film came out. How many months ago? Over 5 months ago, which
Almost
is
6. Yeah.
yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, the winner should be Oppenheimer if we're really gonna look at it from that point of view. But, I think it is interesting because as far as I'm concerned, I feel that Barbie is more sort of like, is not in the same category as Oppenheimer as far as I'm concerned. But for many people, and for a lot of people who worked on these films, they think, that they may be. I don't see how they could be. However, I'm happy for the production teams that worked hard to make both films. However, when we're talking about the brevity of the film, for me, Oppenheimer is the one that's going to win or deserves to win. But as you know, with award ceremonies like this, um, anything can happen. I think what's also interesting are many of the television shows that are nominated. Of course, Fargo is nominated. I know you've been covering that show, but also shows that have finished like Success. And I think Ted Lasso is nominated and that's finished. What do you think the outcomes are going to be for some of these television shows? Because I think the other one is Abbott Elementary. That's been on for a while and has been a popular choice. How do you think these shows are going to perform tonight?
I haven't seen any of those shows, so I have no idea.
Well, do you?
Literally the only TV show I've been watching is Fargo, and that's it.
Yeah,
I've
and
not been following all that other. A lot of it is because a lot of these are either on straight different streaming services that I don't have, or on awkward nights or whatever the time slots are. It's like I haven't been following TV that much.
mhm. Well, I think it is kind of interesting because I think for a lot of these television shows, and I've watched a few seasons of Abbott Elementary, but I don't watch every episode of Abbott Elementary, which is more of sort of like a classic style sitcom show, very traditional style show where you would expect I don't even know if they use laugh tracks, I can't remember, but it's been a very popular show, and I understand if it wins, but it's already won so many awards. And I kind of was hoping that there would be a little bit more open number of shows out there, but it seems like they're few and far between these days. People talked about the show, I think it was with Meryl Streep and I can't remember the actor, but a show that she was in that everybody thought was going to be now. It might be 1812 or something like that. Um, but the point is that I hope that even though these other shows are ending, they're going to start to produce new shows. The strike is over, Catherine. This is maybe the first really big awards ceremony since the end of the strike, and I'm hoping we're going to see a transition away from, this whole thing of where everything feels like it's stopped, sees production. I hope this reinvigorates things and gets people excited about these awards. And if this is going to be a new system, like I said, I'm not quite sure what exactly they did. Forever it was the Hollywood Foreign Press. Now it's a different group, and I'm hoping that going forward we do see a few differences. You mentioned the categories were odd. Let's hope they have time to go ahead and look at that and maybe even change it for the better. I don't know what I would add in on this list. I'm just kind of looking at some of these nominations. Another show that's ending that has gotten awards previously is The Crown. I managed to watch the final season of The Crown, and it was a very good final season. But since this is its last year, we won't be seeing that. The Diplomat, which is a show starring Kerry Russell, um, was also very good. I personally was surprised it was nominated, but it managed to make the list. And The Last of Us, which is a zombie horror show, is also on the list. Something that for someone to say it's the best television series drama, I was surprised it was nominated, Catherine.
Yeah,
What
I thought The Last of Us was really boring, and it was just it wasn't really doing anything new with the post-apocalyptic zombie genre I mean, it's great as a game, but when you're watching it, it's like it feels like it's the same thing every week. We're just getting a little further, we're meeting another band or whatever. It's just not. I thought it was really fun. It's like, yeah, the production value is high in terms of the set design and the cast, but does that mean it's a great show? I don't know. And another thing I don't like about a lot of the TV nominations is you have a lot of new stuff coming out a lot, but they just nominate the same TV shows every year. And it's like, is it really the best, or is it that it kind of has momentum and you like it, so you just keep nominating it all the time just because? it kind of gets trying when you see the same comedy every single. It's like, is it really getting funnier, or is it funnier than stuff? Like, maybe you should shine light some of the new stuff. But
No, you're right about that. Looking at the Fargo is nominated for the best television limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television. And certainly, I think that's great that it did get a nomination. Some other nominees in that category are All the Light We Cannot See, um, Daisy Jones and the Six, Beef, Fellow Travelers, and Lessons in Chemistry, which is also very interesting. Um, what do you think? Do you think Fargo's gonna win it for that category?
well, I haven't seen all the shows yet, but it might, because it leans into the politics of Hollywood, and they might like it just for that. Even though I think it is a very good show, but I haven't seen the other ones. But that is one of my favorite TV categories, simply because by definition it's a new thing each year. They're not going to nominate the same ongoing seasons of something all the time like a lot of the other TV categories. So that's something intriguing.
Yeah, I think that is also very interesting. And of course, as I kind of am looking down the list, another category where I think, and I already know is going to be ending, is I think the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is on its last season. I believe this was the last one. And of course, Rachel Brosnahan is nominated for that one. There's also Selena Gomez, who I don't remember whether she was nominated a few years ago for Only Murders in the Building, but she is on the list as well, along with members from Abbott Elementary. As I said before, they've won before. So they haven't really necessarily opened up the choices there. And now I believe that they are doing a female supporting actor right now. Emily Blunt was nominated for Oppenheimer, and Danielle Brooks for Color Purple, which
It
just
was
came
really
out.
good, Danielle Brooks.
Yeah. And Jodie Foster for Nyad.
Did not see that.
I haven't seen it either. Julian.
I didn't even hear about it till May, December. That was the real. That's another one. It's kind of has some quirky satire, but it's not a comedy or musical. And that's where it's nominated for Best Picture instead of drama. And it's like, that doesn't really make sense either.
Mhm. And of course, the lady from The Holdovers was also nominated.
Yes.
So let's see who wins this one.
Oh, wow.
Well, oh my goodness. Well, that's a surprise to me. For wow.
Mhm.
I can't complain about this one. Um, from
This
The
is really good in
Holdovers.
that movie.
Yeah, we enjoyed that film very much, and I am absolutely pleased as punch that the nominee for best supporting actress is the lady from The Holdovers. I can't seem to find it anywhere. Um,
Yeah,
and
Divine Joy Randolph.
Thank you so much, Catherine. What a wonderful, wonderful result for her. I am sure this is just such an incredible moment for her. And I did like her performance in that. Congratulations to her for such a stellar performance and the win for Best Supporting Female Actor in The Holdovers, a film that you and I covered here on the channel, Catherine. She played a woman who had recently lost her son and was working at a elite boarding school for young men in the 1970s. Really a very different role, wonderful film. I'm so happy for her, Catherine, and I would not have guessed that she was going to win that one. Good for her. Good
Mm.
for her. Let me see if I can just pull that up on the side here. It takes me a while to do all this. And I think, if we can see a win like this, where we know, this was a very special performance and a special role, I think this one certainly is. I'm happy with this kind of a win. I think you and I talked about how when in earlier years, let's say, okay, maybe 20 years ago, this used to be the norm to get films like The Holdover. You would get these sort of quality films, and because there would be quite a few of them, there'd be a lot of competition regarding that. And there we can see many of the cast of The Holdovers are there. But these quality films, I hope this means that we're going to see a comeback of these types of films, Catherine, that were used to be the norm for so many years. But congratulations to her for winning this. And, this is very unexpected. I was not expecting her to get it. And now, Best Supporting Actor for award is coming up. Robert Downey Jr. is nominated. Robert De Niro is nominated. Willem Dafoe is nominated. Ryan Gosling also for his role of Ken in Barbie, and Charles Melton for May December, um, and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. Who do you think, Catherine?
Either Downey or De Niro, I think.
Good call, Catherine. Good call. It is Robert Downey Jr. who has won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor. Um, Catherine, people have fallen in love with Robert Downey Jr. In the role for Iron Man, and it seems to be a topic that comes up for discussion about how important he is in that role. But I love this performance that he did in Oppenheimer. Regardless of whether how accurate the scenario was, it was enjoyable to watch. He was great in this. I hope he continues to get roles like this, and we get to enjoy his performances. And you called it. You thought he was going to win it. Um, I'm just so happy for him for getting this. And is this going to be one of the many for Oppenheimer tonight?
Yeah. Chris, he gives the best speeches. Really funny.
Okay.
I think part of the reason they keep, like you said, they were re-releasing Oppenheimer is because they might have had a crazy dream that they could push it past $1 billion, but trying to get another 50 million is a bit difficult once it's already made its home media release. That would have been nice if it had crossed $1 billion. I would have liked to see that happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was at 954, and I was curious because the last time we spoke about how much the film had earned, and of course, it is an almost 3-hour film, so it's not going to have as many opportunities for showings as a 2-hour film would have. However, what about physical media sales where they couldn't match the demand, Catherine, for physical media sales? Will that actually make them a couple $1 million too?
Well, yeah, the physical media for sure. They don't. Certain websites like Blu-ray.com will report on the #1 sellers for that week, but you'd have to look up the price, and they'll tell you like the amount of units that sold, and so you can get an idea from what the retailers charge, how much money they're getting out of that. And so technically, you can count that towards its box office, even though it's not theatrical box office. Because I think that would be really interesting if the studios would actually publish that. Like, how much extra money did they pull in from home media? Like Matt Damon was talking about that on a interview last year, I think it was, or 2 years ago, about how back in the old days when physical media was huge, particularly in the 2000s, the studios can count on not just the theatrical box office, but then 6-7 months later, once the demand perks back up for people wanting to see that particular movie, you get a ton of money from the DVD Blu-ray release or whatever. And that's not the case anymore because the studios voluntarily shot themselves in the foot. I mean, just because streaming is a technology that exists doesn't mean they have to put the movie out on their service within a month of of it coming out in theaters. But that's what they did. So they're losing a lot of that revenue from it. And so yeah, with a thing like Oppenheimer, I think the reason the physical media is selling there is, one, Nolan's a big proponent of physical media, and it's not just that. Yeah, physical media sales are down for a lot of movies which you don't really care to have. Like if it's not a retail exclusive, if it's just a random movie. But if it's something like that, where the shot in IMAX and something that a lot of people really love, there's more of a demand for a physical copy of it, and so those ones sold out, and they haven't even restocked entirely that much yet. It's been taking them quite a while. I think they're back in stock online, not so much in brick and mortar stores. I was hoping that there would be another run on the Steelbook version because that was made available. There were no pre-orders, but they went live on the East Coast first, and they'd sold out for East Coast buyers before they even became available on the West Coast, which is why I didn't get it. And I was hoping that they would restock that, but they didn't. But yeah, I think it shows a good. Plus, there were more physical media releases in 2023 than in any other year. It's just that a lot of the big box stores aren't selling them anymore. Best Buy's finally started pulling everything off their shelves this month, but there's so many third-party companies which do such an excellent job with physical media releases that it's still going strong. It's just sometimes you might have to shell out a few extra bucks for it.
Yeah, I was able to order Oppenheimer for 2 people and send it to them, for Christmas, but beyond that, I tried to order more copies, it had to go to 2 different addresses, so I had to do separate orders. When I tried to even order it for myself, I missed out on it, and, was really I'm okay, like, I'm gonna handle it, but I was surprised at how limited the copies were, Catherine, for a film
Well,
that's made close to $1 billion.
that's the thing, and what I want to know is, was it actually limited, or is it just that so many people liked it that they had the regular amount out there and they just sold out really fast because there was just a high demand? Because they're not really saying how much. Because I have to go back and check on. I mean, Blu-ray.com I assume would have the numbers, but Oppenheimer was trending in like the top 5 or even top 3 for a long time. So maybe they did make the standard amount that they thought for $1 billion. Because I've seen in the past where a movie which like completely flops, like say, no offense to the people who like it, but that reboot of the Hellboy movie with David Harbour a few years ago, there were just as many copies of that on the shelf at my local Best Buy as Avengers Endgame. That's insane. One movie makes nearly $3 billion. The other one flops hard completely, yet you have just as many Blu-ray. It's like, why? It's like, who's making these decisions? So maybe yes, I think with a movie that makes that kind of money, like nearly $1 billion, you should have the sense to realize that, oh, that's going to have much more interest. So they probably just put out the standard amount. It's sold out, and now, need to catch up. Or maybe they're trying to entice people to get the Universal, the Peacock streaming service to watch it on there because that's on their paid tier.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. And certainly, I guess there will be a lot of people who will be renting it because it's not available for hard copy. But I personally was surprised with the holiday season coming up, especially that you just couldn't get it anywhere. And it was pretty clear that I don't think there was I don't know anybody who didn't want a copy, honestly. And that really hasn't happened for quite some time, Catherine, where I could honestly say that everyone I know who likes movies wanted a copy of Oppenheimer. So I think that was a victory in a sense. And I did see an article where they said they were going to try and make more in production. But do you think there is going to be, even with the sellouts, even with, having made the normal amount that they would make, do you think we're going to see more in production, more hard copies in production, more physical media?
I think they might in the future look to be more selective about which ones they make more copies of. Like I assume that Oppenheimer will eventually get back on shelves because they did pledge that they were going to do that. It just takes a while. But I think it's like a good gauge to like even Barbie, that wasn't on many shelves and I thought it would be, and there were barely any of those available anywhere. So I think they should maybe take that as a clue that, oh, okay, they're still selling. Like, yeah, there's still plenty of physical media collectors who are going to shell out for it. But if it's a big, big movie, yeah, it's a safe bet that a lot of people are going to sell. And I'm sure the people are trying to upsell it on the secondary market because a lot of people will buy the physical copy just to redeem the digital code and then sell the physical copy to basically get their money back. So it's like they got it for free.
Well, what's also kind of interesting about that was that and I could be wrong on this, but the steelbook for Barbie, I kept looking to see if it was available here in the US, and I wasn't able to find a steelbook version, or maybe they had completely sold out.
Yeah,
But
I
I
swear I saw an ad for that, and then the product page disappeared, and then nobody got it. And people are wondering, well, what happened? Like, did it get canceled? I mean, I know there was one overseas, but not one here. So I'm not sure. And I'm positive I saw an ad for that for like a Best Buy exclusive steelbook, and then it didn't come through. Oh, but here they're doing the next category, limited series.
Yeah, so we see Brie Larson for
Lessons in Chemistry, Elizabeth Olsen, Love and Death, Riley Koo for something else, Juno
Juno
Temple,
Temple for
Fargo,
Fargo,
um,
Rachel White's for Dead Ringers.
Rachel Weisz. I've
Yeah,
not seen that. I haven't even heard of that show. See, some of these I haven't even heard of. Like
Ali
Beef. I literally found out about this Beef show like less than an hour ago. I'd never heard of it.
Well, Rachel Weisz isn't even there. I think there are 2 people who aren't there. And
One for Beef.
well, good for her. Congratulations for her. I have not seen Beef, and I don't believe she thought she was going to win tonight, honestly, Catherine. I
No.
think she's quite shocked that she's just won this.
As I understand it, that is a story about what starts as a road rage incident elevates into a prolonged feud between two people, played by her, Ali Wong, and then Stephen Ewan for as the other person. But I didn't. Yeah, again, I only found out about this like an hour ago.
Mhm. I'd seen it advertised, but I haven't watched it, and I just want to say hello to a lot of the viewers out there. Darth Plato, who's watching along. We have Thalia Meyer here tonight. It says that she's going to watch the show on VPN. Good for you, Thalia. I know she's in Germany, so it's late there. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Also, we have A and B, who talks about how he didn't like Daisy Jones but enjoyed The Diplomat. We have Gary Bando Sandwich Worthington. Um, as well. Superhero movies are finished, but for now over. But he talks about superhero films and Barbie. Blazing Asian is here. Hi, Blazing Asian. Says he loved the holdovers. Mikey Lito is also here. Hi, Mikey Lito. Good evening, ladies. Well, good evening to you. Bonzo Kilborn says hello and happy Golden Globing. Charlie the Unicorn as well. Chef Nation says good morning. Good evening, beautiful people. Good morning. David Rose is here. Hey, how are you? Charlie the Unicorn, where's the beef? And certainly, Michaelito says beef is on Netflix. I'm sure it's a fantastic film. And it obviously got a lot of attention, but I have not seen it myself. And now they're already on to the next category. Catherine, they're saying that this is the most star-studded, glamorous awards ceremony of all the award ceremonies, and I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have thought the BAFTAs or the Oscars would be the one that's
Well,
more.
this is not that it's the most. It's the one where they literally stack the deck in terms of the nominees and being very choosy because they want certain celebrities to be there. Like again, Air is not a comedy or a musical, but they nominated it there because they want the big stars from that movie to be at the show. May December is not a comedy. It's like there's some things which you could think, oh, really quick, it's a drama, and it's presenting itself, as a quirky drama, but it's in the musical or comedy category, and it's neither of those because they want Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore to be at the show. And then here we are, limited series actor. Best
Male,
John Hamm for Fargo.
Stephen Yeun.
Stephen Yeun for Beef.
All right, we're going to see who wins this Best Actor nomination. Oh, wow. Beef is on its second win tonight, Catherine. Stephen Yeun for Beef. And of course, many of us know him from The Walking Dead for so many years. What's going on here? From The Walking Dead, he had quite a run on that show, a very popular character, and now he's won a Golden Globe for his role in Beef. As you said, it's about this confrontation, a road rage confrontation. I was going to say, Mikey Lito says it's a 10 miniseries. It's a miniseries, 10 episodes. Mikey Lito, is it thumbs up or thumbs down? Did you like Beef? What was your opinion of that miniseries? I never saw it. You said it was 10 episodes. What did you think of it? We have Ali Wong, who's won a Best Female Actor in a Limited Series, and now Stephen Yeun, who's won Best Actor, both from the same show. Well, congratulations to both of them as well. That is very interesting. Behroots, hi, Behroots, says, just joined. That intro monologue was incredibly cringe. I didn't listen to it. I don't listen to the sound when I'm watching this. I'm so sorry, Behroots. Did you listen to it, Catherine?
I was kind of listening to it, but then I was listening to you too, so I didn't really hear what he was talking about, so I'll look it up later. Yeah, but they haven't had the only good host for this show there's ever been is Ricky Gervais. Mm-hmm. And they're probably not gonna, because he just kept upping the ante because he kept trying to outdo himself so they wouldn't invite him back, and he seemed to have succeeded. But like the one they did last year, the year before when they had the Globes, and it was just like that comic making a bunch of jokes about how, the Globes are racist because they didn't hire for the lack of diversity or whatever, and it's like, and one, it's not funny because the joke that they're not acknowledging again is how much of a sham the whole award show already is. Because again, like they nominate things that shouldn't be in those certain categories just because they want you could buy a Golden Globe. Like there was one Netflix show that got atrocious reviews from fans and critics alike, but because they flew a bunch of members of the Foreign Press over to France to be there and Wine to Dine. Oh, it got tons of nominations like a few years ago, and it's like that type of crap is stuff that I don't like, and why I think this is a completely invalid thing. Like, why is this even a show? Like, why does this show exist? And why did they try and save it when it was going under? It's like, why don't you just let it die? It's, but okay, but
And
here we are.
Beirut agrees. Yes, Ricky was incredible. I loved Ricky Gervais. He's my favorite show host. Zizzy Ozzy says, beef balances drama and comedy very well. Thank you for that. And Mikey Lito says he gives it beef a thumbs up. And Beirut also says, however, they are stating that it's run through a different organization starting this year, which is something I had heard as well.
Yeah, because there's like a lot more voters. It used to be only like 80 or 90 people, and now about probably around 320, I guess, because if not 300, but if 64 people is 20%. So yeah, so there you go. So it's a lot more people, but again, if they're still doing the same stuff they were doing before, like mismatching categories because you want to get certain people there, then it's being just as, arbitrary as it was before. It's like, and they didn't really seem to do much advertising with the public as to what exactly the change even means. So what exactly, like they used to always say, oh yeah, from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, all that. Well, they're not really saying that anymore because they're not the ones running it. So who's running it exactly, and why should we still care?
It's a good point. And Charlie the Unicorn says, is there one person of a show that you really want to get recognition at the Golden Globes? This is a good question. What about you, Catherine? Is there anyone on the list who's nominated tonight that you want to win?
Again, I haven't been watching much TV. I watched Fargo. That's what I watched, but those two already lost. So, but then again, I wouldn't vote anyway because I haven't. If I were in any type of voting body like that, I'm not going to vote on what the final nominee is in any category until I've seen all the nominees in said category. And a lot of these people we know for a fact don't bother doing that. Like they have the anonymous Oscar ballot or the anonymous Emmys ballot, where they, well, I voted for my friend just to help him out. And, I didn't really like the fact that this guy won last year, so I'm going to vote for this and blah, blah, blah. And that kind of crap that happens every year. And it's like, oh, geez, So person, show, yeah, I thought Fargo was pretty good, but again, I've barely seen any TV to judge which one, which show or whatever would be the best.
Yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, I want Elizabeth Debicki to win. She's nominated for Princess Diana in The Crown. I don't know if she's won already. She may have won already, but I would like her to win. I think she did such a lovely job as Princess Diana, and of course, this is the last season of The Crown. I want her to win it. I think she did such an incredible performance for a season that certainly has a lot of controversy and still touches a lot of hearts today. And thank you, Beirut. Thank you so much for the 199 super sticker. You are a gem. Thank you. We hope you are well, and we appreciate the support. Mikey Lito says people who watch Beef will recognize the actor who played the female's husband was one of the bridge officers on Star Trek Picard. Oh, okay. I did not know that. That is great to know. And I wish I knew before. I think she gave him a kiss before she went up to, I hope I'm saying the right person, the actor who played the female's husband. I don't know if I know who that is, but he was on Star Trek Picard, and I like that show. I'm just so glad that they won. Another thing that I was going to say is, and I did mention that, some people had said that there were snubs at the awards, and someone had actually said there's a number of comedies that are up for nomination this year for best performance in stand-up comedy on television, and I'm guessing. I'm sorry. Did you want to say something?
I noticed that as far as snubs, the Iron Claw didn't get up for anything.
Yes.
But then again, like I said, this is Golden Globe, so it's not really. There's not any major stars in that movie. Like, yeah, Zac Efron may be a recognizable name, but I don't think he's necessarily a major star type thing. But I'll be interested. It'd be interesting to see if that makes any of the nominations at like the SAG or at the Oscars. But that would be I thought that would be a bit of a surprise that it's not on in any of the categories.
Well, I was surprised in the stand-up comedy. Chris Rock, Sarah Silverman, Wanda Sykes, Ricky Gervais, Trevor Noah, Amy Schumer, but maybe the most controversial comedian who I would expect to see is not on there. And his name is escaping me now, but I just watched his special on, I think it was on Netflix. God, what is that man's name? Um, and they usually come down hard on him because he's always making fun of specific groups, but you can't deny.
Chappelle?
Yes, Dave Chappelle. You can't
That's
deny.
another category that I think is kind of odd. That stand-up comedian. It's like, oh, so if you happen to get a contract to do one of those streaming things, we'll nominate you, which is basically what it is, because they, nominate. Oh, well, of course those. But is that really a category? It's like, okay, again, that's something they do because they want to get these people there, or they want more people to watch. And it's like, why are they so concerned about, again, the ratings? And it's like, why does this show exist?
Well, they're on to best female actor. And certainly let's see who, I can't remember which category it is.
Yeah.
But they're making jokes and stuff here. But I was surprised that Chappelle was not on the list because as far as I'm concerned, he's the most popular comedian pretty much right now. He is maybe the most controversial, but he really should have been on the list. But that's okay. But Ricky Gervais is on the list. So, all right. So this is the category that I was talking about with Elizabeth Debicki. I sure hope she wins. I have no idea if she's going to win this. Christina Ricci for Yellow Jackets, J. Smith Cameron for Succession, Meryl Streep for Only Murders in the Building, and Hannah Waddington for Ted Lasso. She also did an incredible Christmas special. I don't know if you guys watched it. Gosh, who's going to win? Oh gosh. Okay. All right, let's see who wins. It's Elizabeth Debicki from The Crown. This is the person I wanted to win. That never happens. Congratulations to her for winning for her role as Princess Diana in The Crown, and certainly her performance. Now, Catherine, did you get a chance to watch The Crown? It's quite a few
I'm not
seasons.
a fan of the fact that they made a lot of major changes to the truth for the sake of drama. And it's like, if you're using everybody's names and you're making all these changes, then it's not really, then the appeal of it is kind of, I mean, I'm sure it's probably an entertaining show, but is it really, because obviously, yes, you have to make changes for a adaptation, but I feel that it still should have some reflection of of what is essentially the truth. And a lot of it has been kind of fluffed up or exaggerated too much for my taste, but I might get to watching it at some point. I saw some of the clips with her in it, and she was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed her a lot in it. I think she certainly did bring a very interesting interpretation of Diana, and after so many years of not having seen Diana or videos of her, and then seeing this depiction of Diana by Miss Debicki, it was impeccably done. And it is true. It's not a biography show. It really is, for all practical purposes, a dramatization. I think I also was very impressed with, I think it's Stoughton who plays, Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth. Her performance was fantastic as well. I don't think she was nominated here, but I was, I've watched her in Harry Potter and other films through the years, and she also had a remarkable performance, as the queen as well. Mikey Lito says, people who watched Beef will recognize the actor. Oh, wait, and this is not the one I meant to click on. Was it? No, there's another one. Oh, here it is. Joseph Lee plays George Nakai in Beef and Lieutenant Mura. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for clarifying that, Michaelito. I noticed that you mentioned that, but I wasn't quite sure who you were referring to. And I will keep an eye out for him. I haven't watched Picard season 3 in a while, but something, I got that set for Christmas. Now, Catherine, my family bought me a bunch of physical media for Christmas, but hardly any of it is in 4K. The Expanse, not on 4K. Picard season 3, not on 4K. DVD and Blu-ray seems to be the norm. Why do you think that is, that we're not getting a lot of stuff on 4K?
I don't know, especially since it's already digitally in 4K anyway, because the expensive part is done. The transfer is already there, so why not? Unless they have to manufacture it at a separate facility or something, and they figure they're not going to sell as much. It is a bit bizarre.
Uh-huh, exactly. And so that is something to think about. And now they have another category, and there's Carrie Russell, who herself is nominated for The Diplomat, which a lot of people have watched and did enjoy that show. It's another limited series. I don't think maybe they already did that category, but they're telling jokes and reading out the next thing. Um, Mikey Lito says, very happy to see Divine Joy Randolph recognized for her role in The Holdovers. She's a favorite of mine from Only Murders in the Building. Now, I was unaware that she was in that show as well. And I have to say, I have not watched Only Murders in the Building. Have you been watching that show, Catherine?
I don't have Hulu, but it did seem interesting, so I might eventually see it if the rumors are true and they start merging some of their content with D plus, maybe.
Absolutely. I was talking about how and they didn't there nobody needed to even say this because many people were already doing this. I know I was one of them where they're talking about people unsubscribing from some of their streaming services as the prices have increased. And yet while at the same time YouTube subscriptions have been increasing like, an incredible amount. So that's not a shocker. And I think we're going to continue to see that. Um, and now we have Billy Kudrup nominated, James Marsden. Um, it's going so fast. Eben Moss Bachrach for The Bear. I'm going to have to watch some of this stuff here. Alan Ruck for Succession. I know Succession's last season. Alexander Skarsgård for Succession. I don't remember if any of these actors already have a Golden Globe or any other awards. So let's see who gets this award. Okay. Matthew McFadden for Succession. Congratulations to him. I'm so glad to hear that. Now, Mike Alito says that Hulu content is being beta tested on Disney Plus, but you must be a Hulu subscriber to see Hulu content.
Yeah, see, that's the weird thing because it's like all the Hulu content is included for no extra charge on the overseas version of Disney Plus, but here we have to pay for it. And that's kind of crummy, you know? It's like, and I get that there's no Hulu equivalent over there, which is partly why they do that. But you think if they're going to include it, they would just have an option that says pay extra if you want this. But no, they get it for free, whereas we don't because apparently the stateside version of Disney Plus has to be family friendly. It's like, well, you didn't care about the overseas one being family friendly, and you got parental locks for it. So what's the big deal, you know?
Yeah, they kind
So
of let us down with that offer, and it's unfortunate.
I did hear they've since offered the bundle deal that's commercial free. So and
Yeah,
yeah, The Bear is an extremely popular show. I've been hearing a lot about it. That's also Hulu. So
yeah. I've removed almost 90% of my subscriptions. I have Netflix and I have Apple TV, and that's it. So I've dramatically decreased the amount of subscriptions I have for a number of reasons. But I think it is very interesting. And I don't know, of course, over the last few years, we've been seeing many more movies and shows from streaming services being nominated than ever before. And I think they're going to have to do something for us to actually watch them because the deals they're offering now are not necessarily anything that I think is doable. Even with them putting in package deals together, it's become so confusing. So let's see. Um, all right. Let me just move this so I can see if I can. There we go. And Matthew McFadden, congratulations to him for winning in Succession. Um, Mike Alito says that has more to do with U.S. audiences than other global audiences. Yes, and we agree, Mike Alito. It is unfortunate that they're using that as a factor to go ahead and deny us from things that we actually want. So, kind of looking at the remaining categories here, and I haven't been keeping track of everything, but there's also I don't think they had that one yet. Um, let's see. Yeah, it's not necessarily the easiest thing for me to follow while I'm trying to do this at the same time. But just getting back to the comedy part, I haven't watched all those other comedy shows, but I've watched Dave Chappelle's show, and I think most people have watched it. And I find it interesting that, when I speak to people, most of them have said they've watched Chappelle's, but they can't say they've watched Wanda Sykes' special or any of these other ones. There's Best Original Song, which I think is very interesting. Some of these songs that have been nominated have been very popular, especially overseas, like the "I'm Just Ken" song. But Barbie has two songs that are nominated. Um, Oh, they also have Dance the Night as well, and then, actually it's 3, and then What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish and Phineas, and I imagine that Billie Eilish is gonna win, because usually it seems like her songs, win, but, I don't know the other songs, P oh, yes, I do know Peaches. Peaches is that song that Jack Black sings in the beginning, right?
Yeah,
I love that song.
that was
I
funny.
I kinda
Now you
want
see,
that.
that's something that you get him to do live at an award show or something, because that would be really funny. If it's got a legit nomination, then yes, then absolutely you should have him come to the award show and sing it playing the piano. That would be amazing.
Well, Catherine, it's so funny. I remember, going into the film, and I purposely didn't read up much, and I loved that film, and I've seen it a few times. But the first time I went in, I didn't read up too much about what it was going to be like. It had everything I ever wanted in a Super Mario movie. And when that song came out, I kind of fell in love with the character. I didn't know I was going to feel that way. Like he was serenading you. Like it almost, even though he's singing to Princess Peach, um, it felt like he was serenading you as the audience, and I loved it. And I think, it was so interesting to see his stellar performance doing that. In the same year, we had him in The Mandalorian, where they didn't utilize him in the way that they should have utilized him. They could have had him do something in The Mandalorian that was
Yeah,
musical.
that was just a glorified cameo because, oh, I want to be in Star Wars. There's, again, Lizzo, oh, glorified cameo because I want to be in Star Wars, even though he not good acting. So it's like, and that whole episode was just like, what? But that's sort of the way it's been going over there right now.
It is, and it is really funny because they could have had the two of them perform something spectacular, and none of us would have cared if they performed in let's say they went to that place and that planet they perform, they're performers or they're known for that. Make it like a Las Vegas or something, that planet, and then they could have had a regular storyline and then just had them as performers. It's funny how they were able to use him in Super Mario, and he performed so well that it got a nomination, and I still can't forget that performance. And I'm assuming, I don't know, I know he does the voice, but even the animation, when the character is at the piano doing it, it's just absolutely adorable. The whole thing is just absolutely wonderful. And hello to you, Tom Jr. Jackson, moderator, collaborator, and good friend. Um, Tom, I hope you are well tonight. We are all goof people, and thanks for being here. Yes, Elizabeth Debicki is very, very tall. Charlie the Unicorn, and it was so great that she won tonight. Um, really, Tom says that those two were his favorite part of The Mandalorian. That is really interesting.
Okay, Tom.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and Tom, thanks so much for being here as always. And now it looks like we might have another category coming up. Um, but I have a feeling I'm Just Ken is going to win because it did go, I think it went to number 1 in Great Britain, Catherine, or hit the charts there. And so many people enjoyed that particular song there. Not surprising, but I have a feeling that one might do it. So we shall see how this goes. Let me just see if I don't remember if this was the last person or not, but and we're already an hour, almost an hour into the ceremony. We can see some of the presenters here. I'm just go on Twitter sometimes to see. It's easier to even with the advertisements, and I apologize, guys, for the advertisements, but I'm not allowed to show network television on here. That would not be allowed. So here's the next category, and I'm not listening to the sound. I can actually see she has something on the envelope.
Sounds like it might be one of the writing categories.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. She looks very Audrey Hepburn with that dress
A
and
little
her,
bit, yeah.
so um All right. And guys, oh my gosh.
It is
Screenplay.
screenplay for a movie.
Okay. So that's Greta Gerwig for a Barbie, and Tony McNamara for Poor Things, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Eric Roth and Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Celine Song for Past Lives, and Justine Triet and Arthur Harari for Anatomy of a Fall. All of these have gotten a lot of critical acclaim, and I'm guessing I wouldn't be surprised if Killers of the Flower Moon won this one. There's a lot of chatter around for them. Catherine, do you have a favorite out of those out
I
of this
think
group?
Oppenheimer might win that one because that's almost like a reflection of the edit if the whole script runs the same way.
Mhm. And it was based on the Pulitzer Prize winning biography as well. Anatomy of a Fall got a lot of attention.
That would be another one too because that's like a gripping. It's said to be the whole thing's like a courtroom drama, as I understand it. I haven't seen it yet, but
Mhm.
I really
Same here.
wanted to. It only came out for one weekend up here.
Oh, thank you, Mikey Lito. Thank you so much for doing that. You are so kind.
I didn't hear who the for
I didn't either.
something.
That's Greta Ger. Is that Greta Gerwig?
No, it's Justine.
Anatomy of a Fall.
Anatomy of a Fall. Okay, yeah, that was another. Yeah, okay, that sounds about right.
Wow, not expecting that at all. They got a lot of attention at Cannes this
Mhm.
year.
Yeah,
Uh,
won Palme d'Or this year.
yeah. Wow. Wow. Wow, congratulations. She wasn't expecting to win. I don't think Justine Triet and Arthur Harari, I guess Arthur's not here. She must be so surprised for winning this. Congratulations to her. Now we got to see this, Catherine. We got to watch it and of course review it here on the channel. Um, are you guys surprised by this win? I'm surprised by it, but you guys in the chat, are you guys surprised by that win? And has anybody in the chat seen Anatomy of a Fall? Would love to see or hear your comments about that. Let me see if they have the next person up. They don't. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, that's yeah. I'm surprised by this, Catherine. I'm
Is that the
surprised.
latest post that's on the screen right there? The one for.
Yeah, because I'm going by Twitter and I shouldn't, but
Is there like a refresh button?
there is, but they haven't
Oh,
posted it yet, so I just have to keep refreshing. They haven't put her picture. Oh, here it is.
there we go. Oh, okay.
So,
So there's two screenwriters for this, but okay, she's the one that's there.
yeah, Arthur Harari is not there tonight. She was not expecting to win this, Catherine. You can tell.
No,
She's shocked by
those
this.
are
And
always the best winners, provided they're the ones that you really want to win too.
yeah, so I think you and I definitely need to see this film and we'll review it on the channel. And hey, Luminara is here tonight. Hey, Luminara, how are you tonight, lady? Hope you were well. Says, I haven't seen any of these movies. Luminara, sure hope you get a chance to in the near future. And you could tell us the ones that you are most looking forward to. All right, and now the next category. Okay, Mikey Lito, I'm going to look on with that link. Excuse me. Sorry for burping, guys. Excuse me. Okay. In the order of presentation. So let me get those up here. 19. Oh, no, that's not it. Okay. So that was, gee, it doesn't feel like that was, but obviously it is. TV comedy actor. That's the next one. And thank you for that, Mikey Lito. Male TV series, musical, or comedy. Okay. All right. Who is nominated? Steve Martin, Only Murders in the Building. Not a surprise.
Yeah, Martin Short got nomination for that too. I think.
Mm.
Jason Segel for Shrinking. Haven't
Mhm,
seen these shows.
mhm.
I do have Barry and Shrinking on my watch list and Ted Lasso on my watch list. Haven't started any of those yet.
Yeah. And we saw Jeremy Allen White in The Iron Claw, right,
Yeah.
Catherine? I think who won it? Oh, what?
Well, The Bear is a very popular show, I've heard. I
Wow.
would like to see it because he's a really good actor. But and again, I do want to see Only Murders in the Building because that seems like a fun show, especially Steve Martin and Martin Short. You can't really go wrong there with that pairing. But those other shows are still on my watch list.
Yeah, and thank you, Charlie, the unicorn, who talks about The Anatomy of a Fall is a legal drama from French director Justine Triet, featuring performances from Sandra Hüller, Swan Arlud, Samuel Thies, Emilio Machado Grainier, and more. Yes, absolutely. We are very happy for them. And Xavier Phoenix says, I'm surprised by that win. I still need to see Anatomy of a Fall. Absolutely. I promise you, at least Catherine, I'm going to watch it. If you watch it, we'll do a review on the channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and see it when I can. I think it's available to rent digitally. I might just rent it one night and watch it because I've heard a lot of great things about that. Steve from Fantasmagorium watched it. He said it was amazing, riveting for the whole 2.5 hours plus that the film is. So
Wow. So we definitely have to check it out. I was just looking at a very interesting a shot into the audience where one was wearing a jacket and they talked about how cold it was. I guess as they were entering into tonight's show, and there's a jacket that everybody was borrowing and passing off once you go into the award ceremony. Well, congratulations to him. Beirut says Barry was terrific until the last season for me. However, most loved it. For me, it's giving 10 twists every episode. Really? Well, thank you for that information, Beirut. We certainly are going to uh, make time to check out The Bear. Um, and I am very happy for him. As we said, Catherine and I just saw Jeremy Allen White star as one of the Von Erich brothers in The Iron Claw, and that was a fantastic performance. So if you guys liked him in The Bear, please do check him out in the the Iron Claw, the Golden Claw. I'm thinking of Golden Globes. I'm renaming the movies. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun. Okay, so now we have the TV stand-up performer, and as I said, Catherine, I personally am quite surprised that Dave Chappelle is not on the list, knowing how successful and popular his shows are. But it is what it is. Um, Charlie the Unicorn says, what does he say? Another YouTuber makes the case for the child actor to be nominated for Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars. Oh, I did not know that. Thank you for mentioning that. I don't yeah, I didn't know that. Um, thank you for that information. And Xavier
who's the
goes on.
YouTuber?
Yeah, well, you could tell us, Charlie. I don't know which one. I'm not able to watch other YouTube videos like I used to before. So I don't know what's going on in the community as
Yeah.
like I used to. So please let us know. And then, of course, Taylor Swift did make it there tonight. There was a lot of chatter about that. Her concert film did well, Catherine.
Yeah.
Good for her. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not a Swiftie, but I'm happy for her being able to do well with her concert there, especially since the prices of the tickets really were unobtainable for a lot of people. Xavier says, so happy for Jeremy Allen White's win. The Bear is quite popular and it is actually quite good. Hey, Xavier, go ahead and watch Jeremy Allen White in The Iron Claw. You will love him in that as well. No, they're talking about the nominees, and of course, you and I already discussed this, that Ricky Gervais is one of the nominees, Wanda Sykes is another. Um, who else was on that list? I don't have it in front of me. I need extra screens. It was all the way at the bottom too. Um, oh, I can't find it. But yeah, that's right. He is actually here. This gentleman, I can't remember his name either. All the names have gone from my mind.
This guy's not fun. So they're playing clips right now of the different people, and okay, they just played Trevor Noah. He wasn't funny. Ricky Gervais was kind of funny. Chris Rock's is really funny.
Mhm. And Trevor Noah is there tonight. I saw him, he arrived earlier. I don't know if Chris Rock is there. And I don't believe Ricky Gervais is there tonight. I didn't see him. So Amy Schumer, I don't care for her taste
Yeah,
in
I don't think she's funny, honestly.
I think she's good in some movies that she makes, like,
Yeah, some movies, sure, but I'm not a fan of her stand up very much. It's like, eh.
so and and she was nominated, but I haven't watched any of her specials. So truth be told, I haven't been watching her stand up, so I don't know whether it's good or not. I do like Sarah Silverman's comedy.
Yeah.
Especially, I feel like she and Dave Chappelle are kind of like on the same frequency sometimes, and I like when they go a little further, pushing the limits of comedy. Thomas Logan says Anatomy of a Fall is the first upset tonight. Shocked screenplay didn't go to Killers of the Flower Moon or Barbie. Okay, Thomas, we hear you. Something
I
to
don't know if
think
that
about.
would be an upset because that was like you mentioned, it's a strong favorite on the festival circuit too. So it's kind of somewhat expected that it was going to do well. I think that does have a serious shot at winning for best drama, even this year when we get to the bigger awards like Oscars, whenever they reveal the nominees.
I agree, Catherine. I think Anatomy of a Fall is going to be the one to beat.
Yeah, because
For
I feel a lot of people think of. I'll bring it up in a second and see what this winner here.
sure.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais, who doesn't look like he's here.
No, he's not
No.
there. I can't
So
wait to give it to him.
I think that regarding Killers of the Flower Moon, that a lot of people seem to agree with our take on it from our review. That the production values are very high, performances are good, but it's too long, and it's like good, but is it the best? I don't know about it. It's like, yeah, it's got Scorsese's name on it. I
Yeah,
think Anatomy of a Fall might beat that out.
yeah, and I think as you and I both are saying, I haven't heard that much chatter about a film in a long time. Just pure excitement after they saw it. I believe it premiered at Cannes,
Yeah.
and they were so excited and happy for it. So
And
certainly,
again, I'm gauging this off of what everybody else on the festival circuit has been saying and what the insiders have been saying for tracking information. I haven't actually seen Anatomy of a Fall yet, but that's I wouldn't be surprised if that took home award, especially since the Golden Globe still has an air of some type of affiliation with foreign press, I assume, of some kind for whoever took over. Because if it does, that movie did do well overseas in terms of critically, even though again it didn't get anything other than a pittance release here for theaters.
that's right. It didn't perform well at the box office because it didn't have very much box office time. However,
Yeah.
um, I can't wait to see it, and I it's really something that you and I need to look at as well. Xavier says, "I did, and yes, I agree. He's also excellent in The Iron Claw
Mhm.
for Danny Allen White, as well as Darth Vader saying. I heard Rob the other day praising Anatomy of a Fall. Mike Alito says nothing would make me happier for Killers of the Flower Moon to be shut out other than Lily Gladstone. And Charlie says Flower Moon is a downer movie. Um, yeah, I have a feeling Flower Moon is not going to go home without a trophy of some kind because the press wants them to win this. I think
Maybe
there's
not from this show, but I think it has a better shot at Oscars when it comes to things like the aesthetic, like costumes, makeup, production design.
mhm.
Uh, I would say supporting actor. Um, if the nominees for supporting actor were the same at the Oscars as they were tonight, then I'd say it'd be a two-horse race between Downey Jr. and De Niro. Uh, Even though I would hope some of like say Jeremy Almayer would get nominations for Iron Claws, I thought they were very good in that as well. Um, but yeah, Lily Gladstone was good. Don't think she'll win over some of the other choices even tonight in the category. We'll see.
Yeah, and the thing that surprises me the most about Killers of the Flower Moon is, and I'm not going to say that Lily Gladstone is unknown, but I'm shocked at how unknown she is to the general public. In other words, like, the film, not a lot of people know her as a household name. And for a film that really had what I would call the best in a sense of marketing for everyone to know about her,
Well, I mean, it is one movie. It did get it didn't do great financially at the box office, and now it's on Apple TV, so it comes down to how many people have Apple TV versus, say, Netflix, which a lot more people seem to have. So I'm not too surprised that a lot of people don't know who she is yet, because I don't know if she's been in other things or other big, this seems to be her big breakout role. So I mean, eventually she'll probably be more of a household name, but I'm not really surprised if a lot of people don't know her yet.
Well, everybody knows Ricky Gervais, and he not only was he not there, but I don't believe there was anyone there to accept the award on his behalf.
No,
Um,
that's it. They just had Jim Gaffigan take it because he was the one presenting, and somebody came out and gave it to him. I don't think anybody from. Oh, you said Trevor Noah was there. Okay, so that would be one person.
Trevor Noah might be presenting. Maybe that's why he's there, even
Mm.
in addition to being nominated. But I didn't see Wanda Sykes. I didn't see Amy Schumer, and some of the other people who were on that list. Obviously, Gervais was not there. Trevor was there. That I think there was only one other person. Of course,
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those people didn't make plans to come because they didn't announce that till kind of late. That oh yeah, this is a category. It's like what?
exactly. And it is something to think about. Um,
That's a good point. Well, I wonder if they would bring that category back next year if none of the nominees really showed up this year. Because again, that's kind of what the Globes are also about, is stacking the deck to put on a big star-studded show. Like they also say that the reason Ricky Gervais can get away with what he does when he used to host is because it's the Globes, but they probably wouldn't let him do that at the Oscars.
no, I don't think he could get away with that. They'd want someone to accept on his behalf. Or if he was
No,
honestly,
I
and
mean, like, he wouldn't get away with it in terms of they wouldn't let him host the Oscars. It's like, yeah, you can host because his style of comedy is roasting everybody really badly, and which is great for the viewers at home because it's hilarious. But I don't think they would let him do that at, say, the Oscars. So
yeah,
if you wanted them to show up there, and it's like, oh, you created this category to attract more viewers potentially, but then none of the people nominated in the category really showed up. Like, even if Trevor Noah, I think he was there, but the camera didn't cut to him when they announced him as a nominee like they usually do. So it's like, that's even stranger. It's like,
yeah, it is weird, Catherine. And perchance I watched the pre-show where they show the dresses and gowns and all that sort of stuff, which I could not help myself. And I kind of spared you all a lot of that. But my mother and I were looking at different costumes, and not costumes, but all the glamour and glitz, if you will, before the show started, which is a big deal for us. And I couldn't do it necessarily on the TV on the stream tonight, but I enjoyed it a lot, seeing all that, the dresses and the tuxedos, and people who you don't always see all the time, except when they're in a movie or on TV. So it was nice to see that. Yeah, it is very interesting. A number of people, for me, another thing that I had kind of criticized about The Flower Moon was that the film, and you had mentioned how you felt that they could have focused more on the issue at hand, which they kind of pushed to the side. But there were certain elements of the film, like, for example, while it was true that they showed some of the culture of the native tribe, it didn't necessarily, show us as much as I would have liked. And um, just personally, after watching the film, some of the writing wasn't great. So, that's not anything that I would expect to win for screenplay. But as you said, Catherine, some of the costumes, maybe that's another film that could do well in costumes, that could do well in other categories, maybe even for cinematography. Um,
mhm.
and so, that's something to think about going forward. Okay, non-English language motion picture. This is my favorite category. Anatomy of a Fall, which might win this one. Fallen Leaves, from Finland. Okay. I kind of wish the movie that I saw the other day called Promised Land was nominated, but it wasn't. Io Capitino, um, Past Lives.
I just saw Past Lives the other day. I didn't care for it. The
Mhm.
performances were really good, but it's a movie that's hinging on you really caring about this relationship that they had, so you root for them when they get back together. But there's barely two scenes of them as little kids, and then like 10 minutes later we're meeting again on Skype or whatever, and it's like you can tell it's a big deal for them, but it's like this movie feels like it's barely started and you're already wanting me to feel this strong relationship there. And that's why it didn't really land for me as well. um,
Mhm. I understand.
Anatomy of a Fall, yeah.
Not a surprise there.
No. Yeah, if you're winning best screenplay, then yeah, you're gonna win. For same thing when you look at the Oscar nominations, if any of the foreign films are in the main Best Picture category, then you know that's the one that's gonna win the foreign language category.
And Tom J. Jackson says, I still haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon, but I don't have Apple TV. Yeah, see how it's a kind of a pain in some circumstances. And the Outcast Creative, hey, Lance, how are you? Says, hey, I didn't know this was on tonight. Lance, I didn't know this was going to be
Yeah,
on
right?
tonight.
There's like no advertising for this. It's like it used to be a big thing they'd advertise, but now it's like, eh.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I like what this woman is wearing, but I know she didn't expect to win. Like she's actually taken off her jacket and she's like, you know, how am I looking on the TV? But it almost doesn't matter because she's so stylistic.
Isn't this the same person who accepted the screen?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
so she's
Yes,
there representing the movie.
yes. And
Unless she's also the director, I don't know.
she may have been the only person to come over for the movie, Catherine, you know, depending upon the situation.
I
And
also think the lead actress in that is going to be a favorite come through the rest of award season because she's like the one who's really carrying the whole movie.
I agree. And Lance, the other thing I was going to say is I didn't even know if I could do this tonight, but I didn't have to travel for work this week. So that's why I was able to do. It was very, very last minute for both Catherine and I would have asked her ages ago. ZZ Ozzy says Flower Moon was disappointing, same as Irishman. And Outcast says, Lance says Gervais winning made up for Gervais. Excuse me. And Tom Tudor Jackson says the telecast is really on a delay on Paramount Plus. Well, Tom, do you have channel 2 on network television? Because that's what I'm watching it on. If you want to watch it, I think that might be on the same real time. And Tom says, I don't remember the nominations being announced. And Charlie says, my personal pick would be Godzilla -1,
Yeah.
even though it's not on the list. You know, they could have had a category for something like that.
Yeah, they announced the categories back or the nominees back on December 11th, but again, I didn't remember any fanfare being for that. Godzilla -1 was really good, but I could see why it's not. I mean, it's a good, solid movie, but I wouldn't necessarily put Best Picture over some of those other foreign films. That's just me, but it's no. Tom doesn't have network TV. He says.
Yeah, and I understand that there's a lot of people who don't have that. I also want to mention America Ferrera, who there's been a lot of chatter about the fact that she wasn't nominated in Barbie. But you know, first of all, I love the way
would she get a nomination for that? I mean, she doesn't get to do much. I didn't think there was anything special about that. I mean, I like America Ferrera, I'm a fan, but I didn't think there was anything super special about that compared to the other people in the movie.
And Charlie the Unicorn says that the Golden Globes is not on network TV in this area. Well, thank you, Charlie, for letting us know that.
I'm watching it on my local CBS station. I don't know what you guys got or what if it's. I would have assumed they had a nationwide deal for that, but I guess not.
Yeah, I am also watching it on my local CBS station as well, Catherine. And of course, there's Anatomy of a Fall for Best Non-Language English.
They're nominating or announcing for female. I don't know if it's lead or supporting for a musical or comedy TV series.
TV series
not on the UK anywhere at all. Outcast. Yeah, see, a show which is supposed to be like global, international kind of stuff, but not even, or sort of like that for representing for foreign markets is not even on internationally. What a surprise, you know? It's like, again, who's this show for?
And Xavier says, yeah, thank you so much for covering this. Well, thank you for being here. And Joey, hey Joey, says, I'm watching on Fubo TV with a free trial and it's delayed about a minute. And Mikey Lito and I are watching both on CBS Network Telecasts Channel 2, where we are, right, Mikey Lito? Rachel Brosnahan for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She's won before, Catherine, I'm sure.
Is it? I haven't seen that. This is lead actress?
Yes, and Quintana Bryson has also won before. Ayo Edebira for The Bear, Ely Fanning for The Great, I don't believe they've ever won. Selena Gomez, it would be great if she won. Natasha Lyonne for Poker Face. I don't know whether she's ever won a Golden Globe before, but it would be great.
That's a show I heard about that I would be interested in. I think that's on Hulu as well or Prime.
Yeah. So this one's kind of wide open. I hope it's not, oh, good, it's someone from The Bear, because I was hoping it was not Abbott Elementary. No offense to Abbott Elementary. I think it's a wonderful show, but they've won a lot already. And I
Yeah,
just
see, that
I
goes back to another problem I have with like the Emmys, where they just a show like say The Office starts gaining steam or something like that, or 30 Rock, and they just give it to the same award every damn year, and it's like, come on, guys, you're supposed there's other better things on, because usually it's funny because usually sequels don't get nominated on the movie side of award shows because you're just kind of continuing the same thing. But with TV, it's the polar opposite. It's if it's the same thing over and over again, they'll constantly nominate it. But they don't do that for movies. Extremely rare that you'll see sequels getting a ton of nominees or a lot of recognition. But with TV, it's just nonstop.
yeah, it really is.
I
And
remember
so
I'm sorry, I bet how much it's okay. I mean, I don't. To me, 99.9% of comedies aren't funny anyway. So uh, I don't really have much faith in them for comedy. It's like um,
Abbott Elementary,
okay.
is what I would call kind of like a safe comedy. It is very, satisfying to people if you wanna see a traditional style comedy, like what we know, and that's okay. Like I think if that's what you're looking for and you go for that and you enjoy it, that's it. It's not my favorite anymore. Like I grew up watching sitcoms like that and I don't necessarily want to see them anymore. But a lot of people seems to enjoy it, and that's okay. The lady who you saw nominated, Catherine, is also the writer for the show, I believe. So but this young lady, she's never won before. For The Bear, I'm so glad that she so this is the second person from The Bear or the third winner for The Bear?
Second, I think we'll go Jeremy and her. So
Mhm. That is very impressive. Okay,
what's the
there
category? Is it leader or no? Here it is. Female.
television female actor musical comedy
Okay,
series.
so I assume that's a lead then.
Good for
Yeah.
her. Congratulations to Ayo Adebiri. So happy for you. And I love America's uh I love her dress. I just love that dress. Um, okay, so now they're on to the next category. Brian Cox for Succession. Kieran Culkin for Succession. Gary Oldman for Slow Horses. I tried to watch Slow Horses, and I was not able to watch that show. Pedro Pascal.
I binged the first two seasons of that show. I liked it, and they just finished season 3, so I'm gonna binge that one next.
All right, I'm gonna try and see if I can go on further with it. Dominic West for The Crown. I would like Dominic West to win this category.
Mhm.
I think that his performance of as Prince Charles and was amazing. Um, and let's see. J.H. Eddick says he's actually recording, going to watch it later. And certainly
Kieran
Xavier said,
Culkin.
good for Kieran Culkin. How about
Yeah.
that? Congratulations, Kieran.
And again, is this because I know that Matthew McFadden already won for Succession. So is this like supporting role and another supporting role or lead role? I don't know how this works. It doesn't really specify. Let me check. I got the other results pulled up. It'll specify for me.
Thank you, Catherine. And Xavier says, Io from The Bear works for me. Yes, congratulations to her for her win. Um, and Gator J says, love these. Yeah, it's great to see this. I don't know if Kieran Culkin's ever won a Golden Goal before, but I'm happy for his win here tonight. Oh, he said he was nominated 20 years ago. And he thought he'd never be back on the stage again. Good for you, Kieran Culkin. You just never know. Thank you, Mikey Lito said he said it's the lead. Thank you so much, Mikey Lito, for helping out. And certainly we're very happy for Kieran Culkin for his win. Is it up there yet? It's not. It'll show up in a second. Just enjoying this a lot and glad to see him getting that nomination and win. There he is. The Golden Globe for Best Television Male Actor Drama Series goes to Kieran Culkin in Succession.
See, this is again something really screwy because It says that Matthew McFadden was nominated for supporting performance in a series. Like I said, so limited series, anthology series, motion picture made for television. But for some reason, when it comes to the supporting ones, they mix it with the standard series with anthology and limited series and motion picture, all this. But then when it comes to just the main series, it's the lead actors. It's just for regular television series, and then they separate it if it's going to be for the limited or anthology into its own separate category. So that's kind of odd. It's like, oh, if you're leading in those projects, oh, we're going to separate those categories. If it's a supporting role, well, then you all have to compete against each other in the one category. It's a bit odd.
It is. It is.
Okay. So,
So it's either advertising, at least where I am, Argyle.
yeah.
And that's kind of fun to see the advertisements for that movie.
I don't understand why that's being put in IMAX. It's like that's not.
JH Edit says, I've never watched Succession. I'm currently watching Billions. I plan to watch Succession next. I'm also watching Billions, JH Edits. And I once again, Paul Giamatti in Billions is great. Another
Yeah,
great
that's where
performance.
he's been for many years. I mean, The Holdover seemed like the first time he's been in a movie in a while because he's been on that Billions show, and that's on Showtime, so I can't see it. And
Yeah,
Succession is still on my watch list. Now that it's over, or completely over, because I'll just binge that soon too.
absolutely. So you know something, Catherine, we're seeing a mix of winners tonight.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of mixed up so far. For TV show, sort of. Yeah.
And Lance says Succession is amazing. First season is so. Just commit to the end of season 2 and you will be rewarded. Well, thank you,
All right.
Lance, for letting us know that. Certainly something to look forward
And I
to.
did look up that the lady representing Anatomy of a Fall is both the screenwriter and the director of the movie. So
Not surprised there. And thank you for looking that up, Catherine. I appreciate that. Mikey Ludo says that the next category will be animated feature film. Coming up, and I'm guessing Spider-Verse will be nominated. Super
well,
Mario.
that is nominated. I think it's going to be between that one or Boy and the Heron.
Now, have you seen The Boy and the Heron?
No, but it's been getting stellar reviews across the board and a lot of buzz about it. That's only recently gotten wide release within the last month.
Yeah, it looks beautiful, honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we do get a nice surprise. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, those Spider-Man films, the animated features have been doing very well. And I think it won in 20, I don't know, was it 2018 for best animated feature? And I'm wondering if it will win here tonight as well as in the Oscars at some point or in another category. Mikey Lito says he's looking forward to Argyle, for another wacky Matthew Vaughn action movie, and Dua Lipa's in it. I was surprised. I could have sworn there was another actress who's going to play that role, but she looks great in this, so it should be excellent. Boy and the Herring probably wins it tonight, says Charlie the Unicorn. Interesting.
Yeah, because that's a movie which, frankly, deals, as I've been reading reviews and stuff, deals with heavier themes, which is a question people have had for a long time, that they should just eliminate the animated feature category entirely, because it's almost like they're saying they don't think any of them could possibly compete with a non-animated movie, which isn't necessarily true. So there's that to think about. But yeah, I think Boy and the Heron, because of that, does have a better shot. But then Across the Spider-Verse got a ton of popularity that it's got going for it. Did very well internationally, as well as Boy and the Heron. So plus it's been around a lot longer, so people have had a lot more opportunity to watch it, like the voting body.
True. And I just want to say there are some new members. Quantum of Zen is a new member. William Stewart is a new member, and so is Joey Johnson. Welcome, Joey. So glad that you are now a member of the channel. Um, yeah, this should be fun going forward. And once again, it's going to be the animated feature. Um, so let's see how it goes down. I guess it's coming back now. All righty. Now I like this comedian, Joe Coy. Um, I've watched a lot of his stand-up, and I think he's great, but I don't know how he's doing on the show. I have no idea. Now Joey Johnson says, "Hayao I'm sorry, Miyaz."
Miyazaki. He made The Boy and the Heron. Yeah,
Mhm.
his biggest
And
inspiration in life, and I hope he wins. He creates such beautiful art. Yes, he does.
yeah, I'm even the poster and the trailer looked so beautiful.
It's funny. The
Um,
host just said, "Oh, we're playing in 150 countries tonight," but according to one of ours here, Outcast Creations, it's not playing in the United Kingdom. It's not one of them. It's like, jeez.
and there's Florence Pugh and Natalie Portman, both presenting tonight, both looking great. I love Florence Pugh's red dress. And it's let's see who wins this. Of course, Elemental is on the list.
Yeah.
Oh, Super Mario was so good.
Hmm.
Oh, I never saw Suzume. I didn't realize that it was nominated.
I didn't hear about Suzume until tonight. Wish.
Mhm.
I don't know why that got nominated. That not many people like that.
Yes! Yes!
That Boy and the Heron.
Yeah! Oh, I'm so happy for them, at 83. That's so wonderful that he got that award, and we're gonna have to watch it and review it on the channel. We're gonna have to review that too. So now we've got at least 2 films, Anatomy of a Fall, and I better write that down, guys. Catherine and I will be back, to do that. Um, Lugnut6, hi Lugnut6, says, "Oh," says, "And the Golden Globe winners for the best looking host are you 2 ladies. Thank you. Lugnut6, you are so sweet. I so appreciate you. I hope you're enjoying
Thank
the
you.
ceremony."
Mhm. Uh,
So let me go ahead and write that down. Um, Anatomy. And the Heron. All
oh
right.
God, I hated that movie. Maestro was just shameless Oscar bait. I'm sorry. Oh, Poor Things. That was very. I tell you, the visuals of that were very striking, very vibrant film.
Oh. Oh, this is for best director.
Yeah, so it's Bradley Cooper, Scorsese, Greta Gerwig, uh, uh, Yorgos Lanthimos,
I don't see the next person.
and Celine Song. Wow, Christopher Nolan. Jeez.
Nolan, yeah, I'm so happy for that. Oh
Wow,
my
I'm surprised.
god,
I mean, yeah, he's
wonderful.
deserving. I didn't think he'd get it though.
I thought he stood a good chance of getting it because he
Yeah.
was good, wasn't he? Like it
Oh yeah,
was,
he's very good. I was just thinking it was gonna. I thought Scorsese might have nabbed it. But
you
again,
make a good
Oppenheimer did
point.
very well overseas.
You make a good point.
National.
Catherine, it's certainly not inconceivable that Scorsese would get it. I always think Christopher Nolan is, like, very modest 'cause, he just isn't boastful. I'm so happy for him. Thomas is, he's gonna win everything. Um, and let's see. JH Edit says, "I did not see them yet, but I hear lots of comparisons between Maestro and Ferrari." Interesting.
I thought Ferrari was a lot better.
Yeah, me too. And Michaelito says, "The next category is Best Actress Film Comedy." Christopher Nolan, you are a rock star. I love the film you made.
This is a really good speech too. You should look this one up afterwards. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube in no time.
Darn, I could mute my sound.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, it's. I was saying that afterwards, definitely you should watch it.
Okay. He's wonderful. I just love him so much. Okay. And you guys are talking about who this is the first year under the new owners, Dick Clark Productions.
Mhm.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Tom Jr. Jackson says, I enjoyed Maestro, but I loved Oppenheimer. I loved it too, Tom. I loved it. I would love to meet Christopher Nolan one of these days. I mean, I don't have to, but it would be great to meet him. I don't even know what I would even say to the guy. I just enjoyed it so much.
Well, we could talk about physical media. He loves that. There's a video where he walks into some like a mom and pop's type Blu-ray shop in New York and just shooting the breeze with the people who work there. And it's like, he loves. He says that'd be great. We'd have him on a physical media show.
That would be great. I would watch that.
Yeah.
So Christopher Nolan, I mean, it really is spread out nicely, and we're about an hour and 30 minutes into the show. I guess we have about another hour and a half to go. Maybe we're halfway through the presentations. This is gonna be one of those longer streams going forward, but it certainly has allowed us to look at a lot of different films and people involved. It's been kind of good so far. As far as I'm concerned, no real like major disappointments, I think.
No,
It
not so far. No, I don't think so. Like you said, it's been kind of spread around. So.
Mhm. So let's see how Dick Clark Productions. Mikey Lito says that it has actually been them for years as well, and
Yeah.
that Nolan has been a major supporter of Zack Snyder's vision of the DC universe.
I'm surprised that they awarded something as big as director at the halfway point of the show.
Yeah, it
That
is
would be
weird.
later in the night, but no.
And it is the halfway point, right? It's till 11, right?
Yeah, 3-hour show.
Okay. So there's commercials in this. Why have commercials? Gosh, give me a break. Thomas Logan says, I'd be shocked if Giamatti doesn't win. The question is, does Cooper beat Cillian?
No, Cooper
No,
will not beat Killian. It was,
not
no.
a chance. Not a chance. Sorry.
I mean, first thing that I found a bit distracting is that in all the black and white scenes in Maestro, it feels like it's overacting. Like, oh, darling, this, oh, that, that kind of stuff. And then in all the rest of the scenes in color, Carey Mulligan just runs laps around Cooper in terms of how good she is in that movie. But I think a part of it has to be the movie has to connect with a lot of people. Maestro's not really doing that because you call your movie Maestro, but there's nothing in it to suggest why he's a good conductor or how he works or anything like that. It's just like a showing some of his relationships. So not much of a narrative to it. It's like, okay, here's some of his lovers he had. Here's some time with his wife. And, interviews where he's pontificating about the nature of music. It's like this, it just reeked of Oscar bait because he's gotten a lot of nominations over the years as a producer on other Oscar, major projects, but he hasn't won yet. And that whole movie just felt like the textbook definition of Oscar bait. And I don't see it connecting with a lot of people. The critic rating might have been a little bit higher, but a lot of fan ratings are kind of meddling. So if it were between those, I think Killian would definitely get it because definitely performances tend to get better recognition from if the people really liked the movie that they're in. And I think Oppenheimer definitely had, even though I think they're better lead performances than Cillian Murphy this year, I think Cillian would definitely beat over Cooper.
Yeah, and what was I going to say? J&H Edit says The Prestige was my favorite Nolan film. ZZ Ozzy wants to know if Barbie has won anything yet. I have no idea.
I don't think so. They did. They did support. They already had Gosling's nomination. He didn't win. I don't think they've nominated many others for that or announced many of the other nominations for that film yet. But they'll get to it.
Yeah, and Lance says it's so nice for Kieran Culkin again. Outstanding performance. I'm probably one of the few who found Oppenheimer emotionally cold. And
yeah, because that's a movie which largely is it's in a sense it's not a courtroom drama, but it kind of is because it's like the frame story of being grilled in the back room while you're getting. It's like a very plot, almost kind of driven story. So it is kind of like I didn't get super emotionally invested in it until like towards the very end. They already handed out screenplay. Barbie was nominated for that, but it lost to Anatomy of a Fall.
Yes. Yes. So, and that's not a surprise.
No.
Mike Alito wants to know, do you consider Bradley Cooper an auteur or a wannabe?
Well, he's only directed a couple movies so far, so I'm not sure as far as auteur because that would give a specific signature. But I think it's kind of like how I don't think he has his own production company. He's been jumping on various projects. I don't necessarily think that necessarily means you're a wannabe. I just think he's like diversifying your portfolio, if you will. Kind of like Brad Pitt started a production company, Plan B, and he's been doing a lot of that as opposed to acting, like producing stuff. And I think Bradley Cooper kind of wants to merge into the same type of thing. But when it comes to something like again Maestro, it's like it felt more like it was geared because you're trying to win that Oscar because he's been nominated a lot. It's not so much for his performances, but because again as a producer. But auteur suggests that you have a very specific signature that's very recognizable when you're watching it, and I don't feel like he necessarily has that because he is versatile both in his performances and his choice of films that he produces. But I don't necessarily think that necessarily means he's a wannabe either. I think it's just again you're diversifying the portfolio. You're getting into the trying to do all sorts of things in the business. So we'll see where his career goes.
Yeah, it's something to think about. I mean, I consider somebody like Tim Burton to be an auteur.
Yeah, or Wes Anderson, like the type of movies where you watch it and it's like who directed it, or an auteur could be somebody who's dealing with the same themes in every movie they do.
Another one is it Baz Luhrmann?
Baz Luhrmann, yeah, he's got a very specific type. Or for the longest time, Spielberg was doing family or movies about broken families or broken relationships, and that had a little bit of a flair to that. But yeah, auteur. I don't know if I'd say he's an auteur. Bradley Cooper's an auteur. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
But not really wanted either.
Xavier says Carey Mulligan is definitely the best part of Maestro. JH Eddie says he got JFK vibes from Oppenheimer. It's interesting. And Lance says
that was funny. Okay, that was a funny joke.
Lance says
last year Michelle Yeoh made a joke when they tried to play her off stage of the music. She's like, "Stop it! I could beat you up and I'll win." And so she started talking to present an award, and they immediately started kicking up the music. And she's like, "No, I'm very chill this year."
That's so funny. Lance says I would say Cooper wants to be an auteur. I mean,
yeah, he probably wants to be, but so far I'm not seeing a specific signature that like, oh, that must be a Bradley Cooper produced movie or kind of thing.
And now we're on to Best Female Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Fantasia. I almost want her to win this for The Color Purple.
Yeah, she was good. I felt she kind of got a bit outshined by a lot of the supporting roles, though, supporting performances. Like, I'm very happy that Divine Joy won an award for The Holdovers, but I would have thought it would have gone to Daniel Brooks. She was extraordinary in The Color Purple.
Mm-hmm. So who do you think is going to get this one?
It could be Margot Robbie because there's just a lot of momentum behind that. Let's see who else.
And J.H. Evans says Zemeckis.
Oh wow!
Oh my goodness!
Emma Stone. Wow, she was really good in that movie. I didn't think. I'm surprised.
Oh my goodness! Good for you, Emma. That's a wonderful surprise.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know what to do with herself.
Yeah.
She was not.
Zemeckis has that signature feeling as well. Definitely J.H. Edis. Yes, Zemeckis has very much been pushing films and that type of technology for those weird type of anime stuff. He's been doing that a long time. But then you have, of course, the auteurs like Truffaut, Godard, those guys.
Yeah, and it looks like you called it Thomas Logan, who says Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone are this year's powerhouses in the actress category. Yes, Thomas Logan, thanks for that. The next category will be Best Film Score. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Outcast Creative, it means that Emma Stone won for Best Actress. So I'm sorry. Wow. I just was so excited for her. I know she worked so hard in um, uh, for Poor Things. Good for her. I'm very happy. Really love how we're seeing just so many different people winning, so many different movies winning in different categories as well. This is wonderful to see this fun and excitement tonight.
Yeah, and that was for the musical or comedy category for lead actress.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, see, then I'm surprised that that category also had Jennifer Lawrence for No Hard Feelings. Like, okay, it's like a weird summer comedy, but best performance? Are you kidding? It's like, no.
Yeah, I don't think Jennifer Lawrence really
Again,
even.
it's like they want people, certain people to be there, but then there's other people like Emma Poisty you can't really ignore. It was really good in Fallen Leaves, but yeah, Emma Stone. Yeah, okay. I can kind of see why Margot Robbie wouldn't get. I mean, she was good, but also it almost felt like I was watching Margot Robbie just in that movie. But Emma Stone, did you see Poor Things?
I haven't seen it yet.
She was
No.
so good. Emma Stone was so good in that movie. It was so just bizarre and out there, but it was very good performance.
I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and JH just says she's an amazing performer. There's no doubt about it.
Okay,
Uh,
now they're presenting male actor in a motion picture drama.
yeah, and Michaelito says he's happy to see some unconventional selections than the regular run-of-the-mill
Okay,
tribute
so we got
award.
Bradley Cooper for Maestro, DiCaprio for Killers of the Flower Moon, Coleman Domingo for Rustin. He's pretty good in that. Barry Keoghan for Saltburn. Yeah, he's pretty good in that.
Cillian Murphy's gonna get this one, right?
Maybe I mean, I think it's a really his and Andrew Scott for all of us. I think that it was really great for Killian's resume. I think there's some of the other performances I thought were, let's see. Yep, Kelly Murphy, Oppenheimer.
Well,
Logan
congratulations
says
to
the
Cillian.
Oscar goes to Emma Stone in March. I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure she'll be nominated. I'm not sure because again, I think that what's her name, Sandra Huller for the Anatomy of Fall is going to be high on that list.
I agree. And congratulations to Cillian Murphy for winning
Yeah.
Best Actor. And as I said, I wasn't surprised that none of us are surprised by this win. Congratulations to him for such a remarkable performance. Oh, hey there, performing artist. How are you tonight? Says these are some entertaining, fulfilling winners. It feels like the fans are picking the winners at this award show. Yeah, and thank you so much for stopping by, performing artist. Good to see you tonight. And Michaelito says that Cillian Murphy is a regular member of the Christopher Nolan Ensemble.
Just about, yeah. And he was definitely due for a leading role. I mean, he's had some leading roles before, but especially for being in the Nolan movies so much, it's like, come on, man, give him a lead role for a change.
Mhm. And Darth Plato says, I would have been shocked if it wasn't him. This is the third win for Oppenheimer tonight, with Nolan getting Best Director, Cillian Murphy getting Best Actor, and Robert Downey getting Best Supporting Actor. So my question is, will Emily Blunt win for Best Supporting Actress if they haven't already done that category?
They did already that was the first award of the night.
Okay.
And that went to Divine Joy
For
for
the
the
whole.
holdovers. Which again, the category. Let me see. You can't trust the Globes for the category. So let me see. That went to Divine Joy.
Yeah, JH Edit says they've got 3, so I guess that means it's a sweep. But it doesn't feel like any one movie is completely taking over in this particular award ceremony.
Yeah, supporting performance. Yeah, so that's the movies do the same thing. Like if it's a supporting performance, they don't separate it for drama or musical or comedy. It's just supporting, period. Whereas if it's the lead, they will separate leading for musical or comedy for drama. So, yeah, Emily Blunt lost to Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers.
And guys, remember, for 99 cents, you can become a member of the Burnettwork for as little as 99 cents a month, and you can go ahead and attend these fantastic member-only calls, and you can speak to Robert personally. Consider becoming a member for 99 cents a month. And guys, we're a little more than halfway through the ceremony. Certainly wonderful. I really love Blue Heron was one that I haven't seen that I'm glad won.
Oh, Boy
And
in the Heron?
yeah, excuse me, The Boy and the Heron. I was calling it Blue Heron. I'm really glad that that one. I think we're, this is once again, we've been questioning as to who the nomination process was a little bit out there, but even in most of the cases tonight, I don't feel as if the choices were not the right choices necessarily. I feel comfortable with them, and will they reflect in the Oscars or even in the BAFTAs, Catherine? What do you think about the BAFTA choices? Do you think they'll be similar to what we see tonight?
Maybe, but again, like this nomination body, voting body is completely out there. It's like a crapshoot. And as we've seen, it seems to be like, as what's the name just said, it's like a popularity contest, or like the fans are picking, it's almost kind of like that because they're trying to put on it. It feels like the Globes have always been in the business of trying to put on a show rather than, but this one, some of the wins are okay. Some of them are good wins. It's surprising. But again, it's kind of up for I have to look over the BAFTA because they already released those nominations, so I'll see what those are.
Yes, certainly, and I hope you will be joining me for the BAFTAs, Catherine, when that comes out as well.
And that's not on TV, right?
Yeah, it's not on TV, but we can keep up with it on Twitter, like what you're seeing me post here, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And certainly a lot of discussion. I know that'll come out, and we certainly should do that. Lance says, "Oh, episode 9 of For All Mankind has dropped. I've got to watch it." You do. Wait till you see episode 9, Lance. Wait till you see it.
That's on my watch list. I'm going to start watching that soon too.
Yeah, it's great. You're gonna love it, especially if you love the space program. But even if you don't, it's still fantastic drama. JH Edit says, "Did you guys see Lessons in Chemistry? I thought it was good. It looks so good, Catherine."
On my watch list.
Yeah, with Brie Larson. I haven't opened up memberships, Mikey Lito, for Positive Fandom. I guess I could do that, but I have not been opening up memberships for Positive Fandom. It's something I've been considering, but I haven't done it. I have to really think about that because I feel like I want to offer something extra for memberships, like a member call or something like that. And if I can, I will do it, Michaelito. But thank you so much. Oh, thank you guys. That's very sweet of both of you to say that. That's very kind. I will consider it. I certainly will consider it going forward. And thank you so much for the support. Yeah, that's wonderful. What I am going to say is that I have a new channel coming out called Roman Empire Matters as well. And you guys are so kind for supporting me on Positive Fandom and on the Burnettwork. Please do like and subscribe to Roman Empire Matters. I have content. It's recorded content right now coming out over the next few days. But I do appreciate the support. You all have been so kind. And I just love this community so much. Lance says the Outcast is streamed here, so I can sort that out for you. That's a good point, and it would be streamed, absolutely streamed in the UK. Gary Bando Sandwich Worthington says, if it is Roman, it is in. Yes, if there's a Roman in it, it's in. Yes, Gary Bando Sandwich Worthington. Yes, that is the absolute truth. And just so you know, the first content that we're going to be having on Roman Empire Matters is going to be reviews of I, Claudius, a fantastic series which came out in the late 70s, early 80s, featuring Derek Jacobi and many others. So certainly do check that out. Catherine will be joining me for some episodes on on Roman Empire Matters when we figure out what we're going to do on the channel, certainly there as well. Let's see. Oh, someone has seen this.
Mm.
A performing artist says, I saw The Boy and the Heron last night. It was the first of the I can't see the name.
Miyazaki. It was the first Miyazaki film he saw in the theater. Quite a unique shared audience experience. Lovely.
Oh, wow, you saw it in the theater. Oh, wow, performing artist. That must have been fantastic. Is it so it's still in the theaters, Catherine? Something to think about if I go to the movies next week. I certainly will try and watch The Boy and the Heron. It must be so
Yeah, it
beautiful.
should still be out because it only came out last month. So,
Yes.
but I've
And
been seeing that's only been at a few very limited theaters up here. So,
mhm.
in Northern California.
And thanks again, Tom, for the Roman Empire Matters channel link right there. Thank you so much, Tom. And guys, also subscribe to Tom Jr. Jackson's channel as well. Tom, if you could
Yes, do.
throw in your link, please put that there as well. And it looks like we have some other presenters now. I'm pretty sure Mikey Lito said what the next category was, but I might have
I
missed.
think he said it was film score.
Thank you, Mikey Lito, and thank you, Catherine.
Let's see if that's it. Yep, original score. So here we go.
Okay.
And the nominees are Poor Things by Jerskin Fendrix, Oppenheimer by Ludwig Göransson. That's a pretty good soundtrack. Boy and the Heron by Joe Hisaishi.
Mm-hmm.
Zone of Interest by Mika Levy. Across the Spider-Verse, Daniel Pemberton. Robbie Robertson for Killers of the Flower Moon.
Wow,
this is a posthumous nomination.
Aw.
Here we go. Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer.
And he also did The Mandalorian, right?
Yes.
Catherine?
Yeah.
I've never seen him before. So this is like in a real live time. I've seen pictures of him, but this is the first time I'm seeing him come up on stage ever. He wrote the the score for The Mandalorian. It's one of my favorites of all time.
He's really talented. He's gonna have a long, successful career.
Well, congratulations to him. And I want to thank Thomas Logan for the $2 super chat who says, you got to see Poor Things. It's one of this year's best. Well, Thomas Logan, I will see it. And I'm sure I think if Catherine is willing, we'll do a review.
Oh, yeah. That was a good movie. We should definitely review it.
Okay, absolutely. Thomas Logan, thank you for your generosity and your comments tonight. And I do enjoy hearing all of your comments. I'm trying to get everybody's comments on there. And I so enjoy it. Thomas, this makes things so much easier for me to continue to work and do shows like this. Thank you so much for the support. And this is Tom Jr. Jackson's YouTube channel link is right there, guys. Go ahead and support another creator in the community. Certainly, Tom Jr. Jackson, we are all goof people, and you will love it. Oh, thank you so much. B Depp says, I sub to your channel, Artem. I love stuff on there. Oh, do you? That's wonderful to hear. And I can't wait to see what you think of the videos coming up as well, B Depp. And thank you for your support. JH Edic says that Mandalorian theme is on fire. It is. It's remarkable. And I listen to it every once in a while when I have to do house cleaning, because it feels like something it's very dramatic and very kind of uplifting in a way. I really love the drama in it. Now the original song, Catherine, there's 3 Barbie songs that are nominated. Dance the Night Away. It's called Dance the Night, I think. That features Dua Lipa. The one with the one that says, What Am I Made For? by Billie Eilish, and then the third one for Bradley Cooper, uh, Just Ken, I'm Just Ken, and I
Ryan
suspect
Gosling.
yes, excuse me, sorry guys, Brian Gosling, and I suspect that one might win it because
I don't remember the other one. What am I made of? I remember the other two
what am
though.
I made for? What am I
Or
made
made
for?
for.
Yeah, and it was like a song at the end of the film.
Oh, at the end of the film. Okay, I have to remember.
Yeah.
I do have it. I have the 4K now for Barbie.
Oh wow, you do? Oh my gosh.
Yes, I do.
And
I
guys,
like the glossy finish there too.
oh wow, that's so nice. That's so nice. That is so nice. Peaches might be the other one that I really kind of want to win because it was so good. Oh, there he is. He's there, Catherine. Oh my gosh, I really love that one.
You know, I tell you, one of the things that the Oscars tend to do is they give song the award not just to good songs, but the ones where the song actually has a meaning in the actual film rather than just being tagged on for the credits.
Yeah.
So that could have a shot there too.
Well, that was the case, then What Would I Made For would be the winner because that one
Probably.
is like Barbie contemplating what she's made for. But let's say Peaches wins.
What was I made for?
Yeah. Because it's supposed to be the last contemplative part of the film where Barbie wants to know what her role will be. I'm not surprised Billie Eilish winning anything because she's won a ton of awards. But I think that Jack Black's performance, that Peaches performance,
it was really fun. Peaches song is really funny, but is it a song I would put on and listen to? No, it's not necessarily that I didn't think it was that musical. I thought it was funny though.
You're right about that, and it might have won like best musical comedy in an animated film performance, or best musical song, comedy, whatever. But
yeah, because it's definitely a comedic thing, and they even have the song get cut off in the movie when his, right-handed vizier or whatever interrupts him, and he's like, "What?"
And What Was I Made For? That Billie Eilish, I think that's her brother. Really was a song where it's very it's a slow song. And it's contemplative, and Barbie's supposed to figure out what she's doing. Margot Robbie is wearing the outfit of the first Barbie that I ever had. It was that gown that she's wearing that's pink. The Barbie that I had it was like a satin gown, just like that, with the faux boa. So that's really, I love that she wore that. I was not expecting.
Yeah, and she had two outfits tonight because she had the big pink one from 1977. She said for that doll. And now she's got the red one on.
Yes, and I just love it, Catherine. I'm just enjoying that so much. JH Edit says, "Wait, was Peaches nominated?" Yes, that song was nominated by Jack Black. Yeah, and Thomas comments about how Poor Things was not trimmed in our country, but the UK released that itself back 3 decades with absurd censorship move. Did not know that, guys. Did not know.
I didn't know that it got trimmed a lot over there. Oh, here's Mark Hamill out to present. That's wonderful.
Were you expecting this tonight?
No, he's presenting the Ridiculous Award for Cinematic and Box Office Achievement.
Mark Hamill. God, I didn't know we were going to see him tonight.
The only award show with an open bar.
He looks good. He always looks good. What am I saying? Mark Hamill always looks good. I love him so much. Tom talks about watching a YouTube video about how the dance the night was created from Barbie. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Charlie the Unicorn says that Ludwig also won for the Black Panther soundtrack.
Yeah, most of the people weren't listening to him while he was talking. That's kind of a reflection of how much everybody in the audience even thinks that this is like a joke award.
And J.H. Edix agrees that Peaches was funny in the context of the movie. Agreed. Like I said, I feel like the cinematic box office achievement is solely for a film that...
Yeah, because they say it's cinematic and box office. Like, well, how do you define cinematic achievement over just box office achievement,
Yeah, and I think it stems from that year in the Grammys where there were a few performers who had sold, like the highest rated performer in the entire world, and they didn't get an award. So
we got nominees are Barbie, Guardians 3, John Wick 4,
Mhm.
which did not have big box office numbers, even though it was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it was a great
I
film.
think
That
it
was
was
a great
in the
film.
400 range, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what else is there on here. I know
God, it
I'm
looked
playing long clips for this.
Mission Impossible.
Mission
Dead.
Impossible, which technically flopped and didn't break even, really, probably on home media, but uh, cinematic achievement, I don't know. That's again kind of like you're dominating it just to have Mission Impossible up there. Fun movie, but let's see.
I would say Oppenheimer was a financial achievement and a cinematic achievement. I'd say it hit both
Yeah,
of
and
them.
I think you could say the same for both that and Barbie. They were both very well received by both fans and critics alike. And because again, but then it comes down to how do they define cinematic? Because technically, all of them are cinematic, because they were all film releases or theatrical releases. Across the Spider-Verse, another one
Yeah,
that finished, I think, in the 600 range.
which is excellent for an
Yeah,
animated feature. Still
absolutely.
doesn't mean that
And the
that
reviews were fantastic.
yes.
It was a very good film. Super Mario Brothers, again, that's the second highest grossing of the year.
Yes. That was fantastic. I just love that film so much.
Oh, that was fun. I just did a watch party with friend Bernie yesterday, watching that. It was fun.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's just
Such a perfect reflection of the IP. You want to
yes.
sell somebody on what Mario is without having to buy a console and all those games. It's like, here, this is what the whole Mario Brothers world is.
Oh,
Either
oh
in
my
for it or
god.
not. And then, of course, the Taylor Swift movie.
Is this going to go to Taylor Swift tonight, Catherine?
You know, I thought I didn't look to see if the Beyonce movie got a lot of money, but that's not nominated here either. But it was the same concept where you have like a concert movie.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Beyonce film did not perform well in the box office.
Yeah, I don't know if it. But then again, other movies didn't perform that well either. So we'll see.
Is
He's
Taylor
about to
Swift going to
announce
get this, Catherine?
probably Barbie.
Okay.
Yep, Barbie.
All right. I'm sorry. Yay! And she's wearing the dress. Yeah, Tom Jr. Jackson says Paul Giamatti called Barbie the best Philip K. Dick film he'd ever seen. I will have to find that interview. Explains it much better. Dark Plater says, what is the category? Oh, Mikey Lito predicted Taylor Swift.
Mm.
And, I was like, oh my God, is she going to get it? It's Margot Robbie. And my mom right now is like, Rita, it's the dress that you like. But she's not wearing the bow up, but that's okay.
No, that's good. I remember last year at the Oscars, there was that whole controversy where somebody was sitting in the audience that had the whole frou-frou stuff on their dress that they didn't take off. So like 6 or 7 people sitting behind them literally couldn't see anything the whole show.
Yeah.
It's like, that's ridiculous.
Well, JH edits, it is Barbie.
Right. See, JH edits is right. If it's box office, it would have to be Barbie because that was the number one. And then because nobody really knows what cinematic achievement means, it's like they didn't think the movies would necessarily get nominated in other categories. So let's create another one to make sure the real popular one. It's like the whole popular film category they were going to do at the Oscars. It's so stupid.
I feel like I'm watching my Barbie doll, the first one I ever got. I got it for Christmas, and she looks exactly like Margot Robbie. And I remember my dad took me to his company's Christmas party, and they gave me this Barbie doll that looks just like Margot Robbie there. It's the same exact dress.
Mm.
And they wanted me to take a picture with Santa Claus. And I said, no, I can't do that. And they said, why? And I said, because that's not the real Santa.
I was at the mall today, and I went into Macy's, and they had a bunch of Barbie dolls there. And I was surprised in a Macy's store.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, okay.
Gosh, good times, guys. I would argue with Thomas Logan also to say that Oppenheimer, because it's 3 hours for how much it made, it might, technically speaking, if there was some kind of equation and we could.
Oh yeah, Oppenheimer. Yeah, cinematic because it's the first ever movie to be shot on IMAX black and white film, which they invented for this movie. So that's the first thing that's cinematically. Most of the movies shot in IMAX. It didn't make $1 billion. I don't think. Did it? I don't think it crossed that in the re-releases. It finished, I believe, with 950.
But to be honest with you, just between like, I'm not going to say they're wrong for giving Barbie the award, but for
Oppenheimer got 954.7 so far for
a
month.
3-hour film that had less screen time, if you were to do an equation, it would probably surpass 1 billion because it's 3 hours long. So there are fewer screens to show it on. Very, very high.
I don't think that's as much of an issue because you could say the same thing about, the Avatar sequel, which was over like 3 hours, 12 minutes, I think, plus 30 minutes of trailers. And that made, like 2.3, I think, 2.4 billion.
Yes.
So I think it has to do with both name recognition and the type of, like, are they going to be willing to shell out for that? Like, Scorsese, like, I'm sure if Killers of the Flower Moon had a more reined in runtime, more people probably would have gone to see it because I think it finished with like 50 million or 70 million or something around there. But if you're somebody like James Cameron, who doesn't put out movies very much anymore, but has that resume, people are going to show up for gangbusters numbers regardless of how long the movie is. So, and then Oppenheimer got played a lot longer. Like my local IMAX originally was only going to have it for 2 weeks, but because they were sold out every single screening, they extended it by a whole 2 months, and they're selling out nonstop.
That was another thing, Catherine, that I also wanted to mention, and you were the one who told me about that I can't remember the last time, maybe it was Spider-Man No Way Home, that seats were being sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't seen that for a long time, not since, what was that, 2.5, 3 years ago for Spider-Man No Way Home. That was the last film that I remember going to where all the seats were sold out. And only Oppenheimer has really been doing that, especially in the beginning. Like if you wanted to get 70 mil, whatever the movie was, you couldn't get it. And I know I was going to go with Mikey Lito to see it, and we couldn't. Charlie the Unicorn talks about the next category is limited series or TV movie. Charlie the Unicorn says Barbie and Oppenheimer saved the movie business in 2023. And yeah, there is probably some truth to that. The other thing I was going to say is that it does tell you something, that if I'm telling you that I remember, like for me to remember Christmas with my dad at his company party in 2023, I'm talking about something that happened in the 80s from that dress that I just saw. I mean, it does tell you, it's like it hits a mark for some people who like are heavy into Barbie. And I am one of them. I admit that. I don't want you to, like, I'm a huge Barbie doll collector also. So, yeah, it just, I can't, I'm gonna, like, as soon as I get off with you guys, I'm gonna go speak to Mom about the dress. And she's like, did you see the dress? Like, we're still gonna be talking about it, even after the show, Catherine.
Yeah. 2023 was also a great year for in terms of the sheer amount. And I think that was in the summer, that was to their detriment because all these movies were cannibalizing each other except for Barbie and Oppenheimer. But it was great for fans because you got so much movies coming out last year. Yes, always an honor to see Mark Hamill on live TV too. Yes, Joey Johnson, 100%. I do need to look at the 2024 calendar more to see what's really coming. I haven't really thought about that. I know we were going to do a 2024 preview show, but we can still do that. I'll look that up and see what the other films are that are coming out this year.
Yeah, we should do the preview show. We should do that, for sure. And there's so much to talk about too. I want to say hello to Irene Jobson. Hi, Irene. How are you?
Irene, you're alive. I haven't seen you on here in a long time.
And Darth Plato has left us. Darth, you enjoy the rest of your night. JH Edit says that Oppenheimer was a special experience. I love seeing an actual film again.
I saw it 8 times in theaters. Once in IMAX, 7 times regular.
I've seen it 4 times.
Yeah, it was, and admittedly, I had that Regal pass, so I could, and it was free air conditioning in the summer to go back to the movie. But it was so good and riveting to just watch that. It's like I was never bored by it. It was enthralling, great performances across the board. So yeah.
And B Depp says that he doesn't have an IMAX near him. Yeah, that's a big problem. Honestly, and the way that movies had been going for a while, it did make it difficult. Even just
that's the same for me with Alamo Drafthouse. The nearest one's in San Francisco, which is like 120 miles from me. And it's like, because I hear great things about Alamo Drafthouse, but I haven't, been able to go. But that's unfortunate that you don't have an IMAX nearby. And Tom Logan says Oppenheimer's back in 1570 IMAX this coming Friday. His local is sold out that day and Saturday the 3rd. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Issa Rae and Simi Liu are on the screen, and I'm like, wow, they look great. I'm enjoying this. Irene Jobson says she played with Barbies, mostly made them join the GI Joes and Ninja Turtles. They went to war a lot.
That's great. It's like when I got I'll never forget the day my parents took my sister to see Jurassic Park in the summer of '93. I was 5 years old. I stayed at home. My grandparents were babysitting me, but they still bought me the Jurassic Park toys. So I had all the cowboys and Indians from my Lincoln Log set uniting at the fort to defend against the dinosaurs, which are going to come and eat everybody.
I love it. I love it that we can like have these discussions and just remember these fantastic good times that we had with so many of our toys and movies and things. Charlie Unicorn says that the box office is down 2 billion from the year before. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot again to do with because they're jam packing so many releases together that it was so much cannibalization going on. Which is why the Barbie Oppenheimer success was that much more impressive, because they were the two summer movies which actually pulled the numbers that you would expect them to pull. Yes, we got Beef, Fellow Travelers, Fargo.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lessons in Chemistry.
She looks great in that 1950s attire. I have to say, I really like that look.
Here we go. What is the best limited series, anthology, or TV movie is Beef. Yeah.
Well, this is their fourth win, right? This is the fourth.
Yeah, they got lead actor, lead actress, now lead series. I'm not sure if they got another one.
And Tom says he's happy that Nick Offerman won for his guest role in Last of Us. That was a fantastic episode in The Last of Us. One of his favorites.
Didn't announce that already, did they? Guest roles, did they? I don't remember them getting to that category yet.
I don't know.
I don't think they did. Let me see. Or maybe got nominated.
Yeah, Michaelito, that's interesting. Says the thing is Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour bypassed typical distributors and put her concert film in theaters. That's why I thought the film was a cinematic achievement. That's fair.
Yeah, that's not even a guest appearance, is not a nomination for this at this ceremony. So I'm not sure which ceremony Tom is referring to. Maybe it was Emmys last year?
I guess so. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. And now the show creator for Beef is saying this was inspired by a real road rage incident that happened to him, and he thanked the person who caused the road rage incident and says, I hope you were out there yelling and honking your horns at other people to inspire more people. I'm like, okay.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's like a weird joke. Okay, Mikey Alito says that the Taylor Swift movie bypassed the typical distributors and put her concert film in theaters. That's why I thought the film was cinematic achievement. That's true. It did bypass those distributors, and makes it a surprise. That I'm surprised though that they passed on it, because it's like they know how big she is, and how you just look at how expensive the tickets were to go to that, and how quickly it sold out, to show you that there's a lot of interest.
I think they've been upset with her ever since she re-recorded all of her music.
But are those the same distributors though?
I would imagine they are, but I'm not sure.
Theatrical distributors, because she apparently took it to them first and they turned her down. Whereas the music distributor or whatever, that's a different thing. That would fall under different, companies, I'd imagine. That's a very clever idea. One of those things like, wow, why didn't people think of that before, to get their rights back to their music by saying, use your fandom and your fans to say, don't buy the old CD, buy the new one,
Absolutely. And JHS says only one theater in his state had an actual film reel projector.
I didn't even pay attention to this one. TV series.
Oh,
The Bear, just one for musical or comedy TV show.
The Bear. Oh, that's great too.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention either. I didn't realize that they were presenting again.
Yeah. Again, it's still relatively early. I mean, I figured this would be one of the last awards you give because, big TV. Yeah, this is TV comedy series here, Mikey Lito. This guy here is accepting. A few of them are accepting.
Yeah, I remember this young lady won for Beef. Then this guy won for Beef, and then who else won in Beef? The guy from Iron Claw won.
For the Bear. And
So
then Io DeBerry will also won for the Bear. So the lead actor, the lead actress won, and now it's one musical or comedy TV series.
wow.
Yeah, I think Beef only had the same three for best, because that was drama. That was anthology, limited series, and that it won along with the two lead actor, lead actress.
That's great.
I still don't even know what this show, The Bear, is actually about. It's like a guy who works as a chef somewhere in New York. I don't know.
They're too close in name, Bear and Beef.
But then again, I'm not surprised I haven't heard of Beef, knowing now that it's a Netflix thing, because they never advertise what they do.
Tom says it was announced last night that he won. There must be some other categories that they're not televised.
Okay, yeah, they must not be listing it or airing it.
And Charlie the Unicorn says that her Taylor Swift's film made over 200 million at the box office. Not surprised. And Tom says it was the Creative Emmy Awards.
Oh, okay.
So that's
you see, but even that for Creative Arts Emmys, you would think that a guest performance would be announced at the main show, because that's like, they like having actors there and stuff. So that seems like something that should have been on the main program.
Agreed. A performing artist says, I really want to watch The Zone of Interest, but I guess it's not out nationwide. The US release date is still delayed. February 4th, maybe.
Yeah, I also feel that these award shows, of a movie, regardless of which award show it is, if it starts winning a lot, it'll get wider releases. So Anatomy of a Fall could get a re-release because it's on digital availability. I don't know if you could get the Blu-ray yet, or maybe you can, but that might get re-released. The Zone of Interest, again, is something I've heard a lot about. I've seen the trailer, but I guess it is delayed, so we'll see when that comes out, if it does. And then The Boy and the Heron got releases, but they're like at theaters over 30 miles away, but not as close as the one. Like when I go to Tower Theater a lot, that's like 35 miles away, but there's a very straight shot, clear cut way to get there. Whereas the other ones, it's like you got to go up, over the hill and through the woods, and and it turns like a 30-mile journey into like a 5-hour thing. So
mine is not even 30 miles, but like sometimes it's just the traffic. It feels like 30 miles.
Yeah.
Did I read that?
Not this one. Thomas Logan says the first big event movie of the year is Dune Part 2. Not filmed with IMAX 70mm. It is presented in 1570. Should be able to keep the IMAX buzz going. Yes, it will. That was the same. I saw the first one in IMAX, and it wasn't filmed in IMAX, so it didn't really look any different, other than it was on a bigger screen. And everybody was going crazy for the sound of that one, but I didn't. I don't know. Maybe the IMAX sound is great, but I wasn't like gawking at the sound like so many other people were. I know Rob was super impressed by it. Like, yeah, it had a good soundtrack, but it didn't like blow me away. But I agree that that's going to be the first big event movie of the year. And then there are other things that are in IMAX, like I mentioned earlier. We saw the Argyle preview. It's like, why is that going to IMAX? It's like nothing about that screams an IMAX movie. Whereas Dune, you could imagine that even though it's not filmed in IMAX, it has those gorgeous vistas, Lawrence of Arabia type vistas of the Wadi Rum Desert that would be cool to see in IMAX regardless. But yeah, I agree it'll keep cinema attendance and IMAX buzzing, because there was a lot of disappointment I saw online when they, put that last delay in there till March. And it's like, yeah, it would have been nice to see it.
I saw the first Dune in IMAX and I liked it. So,
I liked it from visually. It was good.
Mhm. I mean, I'm okay if it's not. I don't even know whether that's what he's saying here, but I'm excited for it, and
Oh yeah,
I
he's
hope it's
saying
going to
that
be
even though it's not filmed with IMAX, it's still they're still going to crop the format that way, and so it'll definitely keep IMAX buzz going and keep up the cinema attendance.
okay.
Like for instance, when Oppenheimer was 70 millimeter, that means if your IMAX has a 70 millimeter projector, they can bring in the 70 millimeter reels, which weighs 600 pounds, and you're actually seeing it on actual IMAX film. But there were some IMAX theaters that played it that didn't have the reels because they don't have they're
The
just
flat,
digital projectors, say, and but they would still play the same IMAX cut, but it's not going to look as good as the one being played off film.
yeah. Oh
I
my
was
goodness.
surprised though at the amount of people who were selling out for Oppenheimer just for IMAX because you would think that a movie which isn't advertised to have these amazing visuals necessarily, because it's a lot of just people talking in rooms and stuff, that would pack IMAX given how much more expensive an IMAX ticket is. But it did. It just packed. Like, so many people were interested in that. And a couple weeks from now, Tower Theater is going to be having a whole week of 70 millimeter screenings of 2001: Space Odyssey, and
Oh
that's
wow.
going to be probably selling out like hotcakes. You know.
Absolutely. Wow. And Charlie the Unicorn says, "What I learned while watching the Golden Globes is that I don't watch almost anything popular. It's okay. It's okay."
Yeah, you're not alone.
And Mikey Lito says, next category is best actress in a TV. Sorry, best actress TV drama, he says. Thank you, Mikey Lito. And let's see. What else is going on with you guys? Now, best actress in a TV drama. I should be trying to look that up, but I can't. What are your picks, Catherine? Best
Let me see.
actress.
I got the nominees list here. Let's see.
It's Helen Mirren, 1923. Bella Ramsey in The Last of Us. Kerry Russell for The Diplomat. Sarah Snook for Succession. Imelda Stanton for The Crown. I didn't know she was nominated. And Emma Stone for The Curse. Emma Stone is wow.
The
That is
only one of those I've seen is The Last of Us, and no, I'm surprised that girl got nominated. Uh, but the others, yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
well. I liked Imelda Stanton in The Crown. As I said earlier, she had played Queen Elizabeth II, and I thought she was fantastic in
Yeah,
that. Kerry Russell was good in The Diplomat.
I didn't
I
see
was
that.
surprised Bella Ramsey was nominated in this, but I haven't seen The Curse or 1923. Helen Mirren very rarely gives a poor performance, so
Mm.
I imagine she must be wonderful in 1923. I'm gonna go with Imelda Stanton. I love Dua Lipa's dress. It looks like a violin. It's fantastic
Mm.
and good for her. She's doing
The one
well.
on the right?
First, yes, first
Oh,
she was in Barbie, and then she was in going to be in Argyle. She's having such a great moment. So happy for her. Um, and I also love the other actress's dress as well. It's like a more of a harder corset top. They both look amazing. They just what a fun night tonight has been. Um, yeah. JH Edis says he really enjoyed 1923, and Michael Lito says it got a lot of buzz.
yeah, because they got Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren leading that show. And I was surprised because Harrison Ford doesn't usually do TV shows, but he's been doing a few of them lately. So I know they put 1923, the pilot episode, on TV, and I watched that, but I didn't subscribe to Paramount Plus for that.
Mhm.
Might not have to if there's a merger with some other company that has the service, has their own service that I might already subscribe to. Yeah.
Right. Wouldn't it be something if Carrie Russell won it? I think she'd be very surprised that she'd get that. There's Imelda. I don't think she's there, but she played Queen Elizabeth. That would be if she won. It'd be the second win tonight for the crown. My goodness, she's nominated in 2 categories. Wouldn't it be amazing if Emma Stone won this one as well? Wow.
That's a show I've only just heard of too, The Curse. Yeah, Sarah Snook for Succession.
Oh, good.
So it's
Good.
3 Succession
Congratulations.
actors that have won so far.
So happy for her. And it is their final season. She looks lovely.
I don't care for the eh. The top of the dress is a little. I don't know. It says, I don't know.
You think it's too plain?
Well, it's just. Well, it's weird because the bottom half is so solid, and then the top half isn't. So it looks almost like there's 2 separate dresses.
Yeah, you make a good point. The balance may be a little off.
Yeah.
In that. And I want to thank Irene Jobson for the $5 super chat,
Oh,
who
thank you.
says, just popping over here to support your channel with the money. Thank you so much, Irene. I hope you are well. Really appreciate it. As she's going back and forth between Positive Fandom and the Burnettwork. Thank you, Irene. You are the best. I so appreciate everything you do and your generosity. Thank you so much for that. And Irene did mention earlier that she's a Swiftie. Irene, did you see the concert movie? I don't know if you mentioned that earlier tonight, but I'm just curious if
My
you
cousin went to
did.
that concert in LA. She really liked it, but I'm not a Swiftie. I couldn't name maybe one of her songs, if that.
I there's one song that she made called Wildest Dreams, and that's the song I like. I like the video. It stars Clint Eastwood's son is in the video with her, so it's like smoking hot. I really liked that video that she was in. Well, good
Yeah,
for
I don't really watch a lot of music videos. It's like I like kind of kicking back in a chair and relaxing and listening to music rather than watching. And I know music videos is where everybody cuts their teeth before they get to be like a director, or
Yes.
movie director, but not the right thing. Let's see.
Hello, gentlemen.
Okay, now they're presenting Best Drama TV Series.
Mhm. And they look very nice in their tuxedos.
They almost look the same. Their faces
Yeah.
even. They almost look like twins. Maybe they are. I don't know who. I don't even know who they are. Somebody in the chat who's watching, tell us, who are these people?
Michaelito, do you know who these two gentlemen are? And the ladies have come to join them. Now, the lady on the left was in a science fiction series called Firefly, right, Catherine?
I haven't seen it. I don't know. I've heard about it though.
Yeah. So this is another nomination for 1923.
Yeah, for a drama series. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It looks great.
Okay, so the Crown is the next one nominated.
I'm not surprised, but The Crown has won quite a lot already. I'm just saying The Crown is not devoid, and we've already seen DeBecky. She's won for playing Diana here.
And then Dominic West was nominated, but he didn't win.
Mm-hmm. Blazing Agent says, I tried to make Exor Swift a thing after Barbenheimer, but it didn't work.
Exorcist. That's good. I like that. That's really good. You should trademark that, Blazing Asian.
Absolutely. That is
And
hilarious.
trademark your name. Your name is so cool, Blazing Asian. I love that. That's great.
And here's the diplomat, Kerry Russell.
Oh, Rupert. I really like him too.
Yeah, he is great.
Let's see, The Last of Us.
Yeah, I think they
I
held
feel
back
it's time
a lot.
somebody reinvents the wheel with the zombie genre. So much of it is just the same stuff over and over, and I kind of It's like, come on, kind of like when Zack Snyder decided, you know what, let's have zombies run for a change. It's like, yes, like time to do something else radical with that genre. Let's see, The Morning Show is the next nomination.
I didn't watch The Morning Show.
I didn't. I have that on my watch list because I've heard things about it, but watching the trailers at the same time feels almost a bit like a soap opera of sorts, except at a news station with better actors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Billy Crudup's in that show. That's why he didn't come back for The Flash. Scheduling conflicts.
I love Billy Crudup.
Yeah. And Succession. Yeah, that show did have its series finale this season, so that'll be good. So now I can like binge the whole thing. Because a lot of times these shows you watch them and then it's not necessarily a guarantee that the next season is going to be next year. It might be 2 years or whatever. And by the time it comes back, I forget a lot of what happened. And it's like, do I want to invest all the time to binge it again? So you wait till it's over and then you can watch the whole thing. Oh, Blaze Agent says, thank you. My name is an old nickname from high school track. Nice.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, and it looks like Succession. Is that Succession? Yes, Succession won.
Congratulations to Success. Well, now they have at least, is it 5 wins?
Yeah, they won. The 3 actors won, and now this is a 4th win. They might have won something else. I don't know. I feel that this show has won a lot over the years as well, though, for other, at awards, be it the Emmys or, whatever. I'm not sure what its track record is at the Globes, but. There.
Thank you very much for that. Mikey Lito says that the 2 presenters were the 2 male leads from Suits. And I know that one of the ladies, the one who was on the left-hand side, she was in Firefly. If you guys have watched the TV series or the movie, she had a black top with sort of a printed skirt.
And thanks for that, Mikey Lito.
Yes.
I've heard about that show. I haven't seen it. I know I'm not the best co-host because I haven't seen like 90% of what they're talking about.
Now, Serenity is the Firefly television show, right, Irene? So the movie was called Firefly, and the show is it called? Am I saying the right thing?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And it is Succession's last season, so I am actually happy for them. Let me see if I can find this woman's name. Yes. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much, Irene. I just confirmed that.
Okay. Yeah. Is this that's a new thing that's been on, right? Firefly and Serenity.
It's from a few years ago, Catherine. It premiered in, oh dear.
Yeah, Firefly. Yeah, I was thinking that because I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of 2 different films here for certain. Let's see.
2002 was the film, I guess. And
okay, yes, that was a while ago.
Yeah. And the guy from God, what show is that? The TV show. It was such a popular show. I cannot use my phone.
Yeah, that's a ways back, 2002. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, pretty good.
It's still like a following for Firefly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember this man's name, but it's not doing. Nathan Fillion. Is that the? Remember, he was in a television show called. It's kind of
right. Yeah, he was in one of those. I don't know anything about the story.
Castle, and I'm sorry, I don't know why I couldn't remember that. And now he's on the Rookie Feds. He's still on TV, but yeah. Thank you, Mikey Lito. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it does have a cult following, Irene. It has got this. Yes,
yeah, Miranda. A lot of people did like it. It feels like it's gotten even more popular now when people have been revisiting it.
Yeah, and Morena Barican was in it as well. Yeah. So, um, I haven't watched Suits. Have Catherine? You haven't watched it as well?
No, but I heard it was put on Netflix and it was like really, or I mean, it wasn't originally on Netflix, but they put it on there and it was really, lighting up the charts on there for a while. So
Yeah, I'd love to watch it. Um, all right. So, Michaelito, how many? Yes, he is on the Rookie, right? Tom Jr. Jackson.
yeah,
Mm. And how many more categories do we have?
we
Mike,
got
is it two more?
I think the best pictures for drama and then musical comedy. Maybe some more. Let's see. Let's see here.
We've been refreshing the page. I've just been talking all this time. I don't know what we're up to.
So have Best
Drama.
Actress in a Motion Picture Drama to award, and then we have Best Performance Actor in a male actor in a musical or comedy to award. Uh,
Yeah, Michael Ludo says he thinks it's four.
yeah, it's just those four.
And
They've
Nina,
already given out all the TV awards. Yeah, the TV stuff is done. So now we have best lead actor in a musical or comedy, lead male actor that is, and then best lead actress in a drama, and then best picture drama and best picture musical or comedy are the ones that are left.
thank you, Catherine. And Nina Fair, hi Nina. Hope you are well. Says Suits is great. Thanks for letting us know. Mikey Lito says it exploded on Netflix. Ran all the time on USA Network and Peacock. That's right. It's been around for a while. Um, interesting. Interesting. Um, yeah. And Michael Lito says best actor motion picture comedy is next. So yeah. Well, it's been such an enjoyable 2.5 hours. We're almost near the end of this Golden Gloves, which I've enjoyed very much. Um, yeah. And thank you everybody who's been here. Um, so appreciate your generosity tonight and so appreciate you all being here and sharing your thoughts. Oops, it's my water bottle. So what is the next award ceremony, Catherine? Is it the BAFTAs?
Either that or the SAG Awards, one of the two.
Mhm.
BAFTAs are usually like first or second weekend of February.
Mhm.
Oscars are going to be like mid March, I think, earlier mid March.
Well, I will be covering the BAFTAs, the Oscars, and the SAGs. And Catherine, you're welcome to join me if you would like to uh, go again. Michaelito says, I didn't know this was happening, but I got a notification that you were live and decided to interrupt my hiatus. Well, we're glad you did, Michaelito. We are so glad you did. And thank you for letting us know what the next categories and all that good stuff. It looks like it's the SNL group are here, and I guess they are doing the comedy male actor. All right. Oh, Irene's birthday's coming up in February. Well, you know something, Irene, I'm pretty sure I'll see you before before your birthday comes up, but happy birthday to you.
Yes, yes, she's yes. I was born on a Friday. Nice.
I can hear from my mother's watching in the other room, and I hear like they got interrupted with music or something, and they're laughing about it. But
Yeah. I get interrupted again. I didn't hear the setup for the first time they did. It's just like they just started interrupting. Well,
hey, and Tom is saying the primetime Emmys, the Grammys are also coming up. I won't be covering those, but thank you so much, Tom, as always.
okay, the specific choice of music might be a callback to something, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. They're giving them a lot of airtime.
Yeah, a lot for presenters. All right, Nicolas Cage for Dream Scenario. Timothy Chalamet for Wonka. He's pretty good in that, but he's not going to win, I don't think. Matt Damon for Air. Again, not a musical or a comedy. Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. Yeah,
What
comedy drama. That's
is
I would have put it more in the drama category than comedy. Probably. Joaquin Phoenix is really good in Beau is Afraid. That was a really out there. American Fiction I have not seen yet. It only just got a release at Tower, but not at any of the other local theaters.
I hope Paul wins, or yeah, I kind of hope he wins.
Yeah, here we go.
Yay! Sorry.
Yes. Paul Giamatti, yes.
Yay! He deserved this so much playing this role. Catherine, you and I enjoyed it so much. This is such a wonderful thing to see. Congratulations to Paul Giamatti. He was also excellent in Billions too. Yeah, me as well. Xavier, it's too. I have to make this print bigger. Congratulations to him! Wow, he just made that movie so fantastic. So there's 2 wins for The Holdovers, right, Catherine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I remember watching him in John Adams. You know,
Oh,
like
he's great in that. That
yeah,
was a fantastic series.
yeah, he's so good. He's so good. Gosh. Yeah, and a performing artist says, I'm excited for Billions last season since this year, Damian Lewis is coming back. They have something to prove. Brian Cox's unsavory comments last year. I hope they knock the season out of the park. I have a feeling they will. And The Holdovers is currently streaming on Peacock. Congratulations to Paul Giamatti. So talented and just wonderful to watch on the screen. So I pull up the. Yeah. Yeah, Irene, we all do. We all have so much to watch. We're all deficient. I don't know anybody who's seen, although Catherine, you've seen a lot of films. I don't know anybody who's seen all the ones that were nominated, but it's been so much fun to talk to you all about these films and television shows. It's been such a fun and exciting night for honestly, for entertainment.
Let's see. Motion picture, musical, or comedy is the next one here.
Okay. Yeah, Irene talks about, getting Apple Plus, but she has anxiety of watching something she's not sure of what. Yeah, I don't blame you, um, at all, Irene, for having that anxiety.
Yeah. Especially when you got to pay all those big bucks for it now.
Mhm. And B-Dep is happy for Paul Giamatti's win, says he's such a great talent. That is true.
Jeffrey Wright, or no, American Fiction, Barbie, Air, yeah, Air, American Fiction, Barbie, um,
The Holdovers.
May, December. Again, not really a comedy or a musical.
Yeah, it's odd. Yeah, that might be a musical or comedy.
Poor Things, yeah. Yeah, it's really that's definitely comedy, but it's good.
I almost hope they win.
Yeah, it was good. Let's see.
Yay!
What one?
Poor Things.
Oh, Poor Things. Okay. The delay here. Yep, it was very good for comedy.
And the next is gonna be, Best Actress, Motion Picture, or Drama. Gee, only 2 more to go. Whew.
Again, the way they structure the order of the awards is very bizarre. You think that the two big movie awards would be the last two, which it probably should be.
Hey, Bruce Springsteen.
Yorgos Lanthimos.
Oh, was it Searchlight Pictures? That's
Yeah.
interesting. I have to say, even the trailers for Poor Things are remarkable looking.
Hmm.
They're remarkable looking. That was not an easy film to make.
Yeah. Actress.
Oh my gosh.
So for this next category for actress in a drama, I have not seen Naiad. I have seen Killers of the Flower Moon. Not seen Anatomy of a Fall. Saw Past Lives. Saw Maestro, and I saw Priscilla. Yes, I'm not sure about that one. Maybe Sandra Huller.
I'm not sure myself.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a hard award ceremony to follow because it was so good.
Yeah, but Poor Things, that's another movie where the cinematography, and the set design is just amazing. It feels like sometimes it's almost like you're watching like a little puppet show type theater, and the way the sets are designed deliberately to give it that weird type of look to it.
Yeah,
But
it looks beautiful. It must have been fun to make that film too.
oh yeah. It's probably the first time I've seen Mark Ruffalo play like a jerk in a movie. He was really funny.
All right, so guys, we have only a few minutes left of this awards show. And guys, do join us again. Catherine and I think Catherine will be able to join me for the next award ceremony coming up. I am going to be covering it here again on Positive Fandom and the Burnettwork. This Golden Globe ceremony has been amazing. We've enjoyed it. This is a very long stream. We don't really do streams this long necessarily.
Well, it actually seems like it's flying by, really.
It does feel like it's flying by. For here, though, where I'm at, it's almost 11 o'clock.
Right.
And if it was just a little bit earlier, maybe an hour earlier, I have a little bit more.
Plus, they're going to go over. They gave those presenters so much time, and it's like you're not going to get through the next two categories that fast, I don't think.
No, it might be a little bit longer.
Depending, if they don't have a commercial break and they don't give a lot of time to speak, they might pull it off. Because I think the running joke with the Oscars is that it always goes over by like 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, and Tom talks about Giamatti, who mentions doing John Adams was hard for him. So, he did such a great job in that role that I still remember it. What a daring dress.
So hard that he would wake up and ask his then wife, who will be the Secretary of State. Oh, wow. She's really tall next to him. Wow.
Yeah. And Don Cheadle looks well. Oops. Oh, for heaven's sake, I can't hold this thing. Xavier says Poor Things is just so unlike anything I've seen in the past 10 years. Mark and Emma slayed their performances.
Korean, do you speak it? Okay, Annette Bening for Naiad. Naiad is something I hadn't heard of either until very recently. I haven't seen it. Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon. Sandra Hewler. Okay, she is there. Anatomy of a Fall. I think it might be between Lily and Sandra.
I didn't even know that anybody from Priscilla was nominated.
Yeah, I didn't either. She was good in it, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Lily, okay.
Thank goodness. I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
JH Edits says, I've been watching this stream and not the awards show.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's okay. Lily Gladstone is the winner for Best Actress. Good for her.
Yeah.
I'm happy for her. I sure hope we get to see her in more.
Oh, yeah. I looked it up, and she's also been in a couple other good films as well.
Mhm.
I don't know why I'm so tired. It's early over here.
So Mikey Lito was talking, I'm assuming you're talking about Flower Moon, right? Mikey Lito says shut out except for Lily Gladstone is what
Well,
Mikey.
not shut out entirely because it's still up for Best Picture Drama, and that's going to be the next one. So
Mhm.
it might get it. He's gone. Same words that Bernie would say to me, Irene. Cat needs coffee or a nice cat nap. Meow.
So excited for her.
Mm.
Yeah, JH Edits, you liked Killers of the Flower Moon. You JH Edits, you were saying that you live near that area, right? And that you remember hearing about it, right? If I remember when Catherine and I were doing the review for it, if I remember. Isn't she gorgeous, Irene? She's so pretty.
Yeah.
I love her so much. And she looks great on camera and she has so much chemistry with Leo
Yeah.
and I just want to see another film with them. Just they oh gosh, I hope they get a chance to do something else. Yes.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah, JHN it says yes, it's a huge thing from where I remember when we were doing the review and you mentioned that JHN it's Yeah, Brandon Coast. I hope she gets another role. I think she's a shoe-in for another
Oh,
role.
easily. Yeah, for sure.
And it really could be for any role, like she could play anything, I think. I don't think she's limited in her range. Just enjoyed her so much watching her. Might have been the best thing in Flower Moon as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. It might get it done. Okay. For Winfrey, that's an odd choice to present. Okay.
Well, I guess they pulled her in because they thought maybe that The Color Purple.
Yeah. Yeah. Color. Yeah. I wore a purple dress.
Yeah.
Wait, that wasn't in. Was that even in the nomination for musical comedy?
Yes, that's
It
the
wasn't.
one that singer, remember the one I wanted to win?
Yeah, I just wasn't. No, I mean in terms of best picture, I didn't. Maybe it did, and I just wasn't paying attention.
For Best Picture, I don't know if it was nominated for Best Picture, though. I know that
Yeah,
the
I thought it would have been. Let's see. Oh no, it wasn't. Surprising. Okay.
Mhm,
The Anatomy of a Fall, first nominee.
mhm. Is this your call, Mikey Lito? What is own
Okay, Maestro. No,
I think it's gonna be Oppenheimer.
it might be. That or maybe Anatomy of a Fall, because that's right. Because Nolan got Best Director, so that might boost his chances. Past Lives, yeah, I know that was praised. I thought that was a misfire, but well directed, but Zone of interest. Again, a movie's been getting a lot of buzz that not seen yet.
Mm-hmm. Did they get anything tonight?
No, I don't. It was nominated, I think, in one other category, but
Mm-hmm. It's going to be Oppenheimer that's going to get it, I think.
I think either that or. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer. Okay.
Yeah. And guys, Oppenheimer did win for best the best movie category, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not surprised by this. I don't think anybody's surprised by this. I think we're all perhaps just there's no surprise there. So I can pull it up. Still got that. They're going to change it in a second. There's somebody typing very fast at Twitter to put this on there. Thank you, whoever you are. Some poor intern. Mikey Lita says, yes, yes, yes. Think when Harry met Sally. Oh my goodness. And that certainly does feel right. I'm not unhappy with how this has turned out. I really am. Is my computer functioning properly? Did I click on the right one? Or did I knock myself out of the stream? I did not. Okay. I'm like, why isn't it refreshing? Okay, here we go. Absolutely, for everybody here who's congratulating Oppenheimer, a well-deserved win. Irene says she's planning on watching it. Hey, Ill Magic says, yes, Oppenheimer for the win. Good to see you. No worries, B-Dep. Just glad that you were here tonight. Thank you so much for even stopping by. Yeah, Mike Alito says this was an amazing awards show. Quite unusual. I'm not really unhappy with a single selection, nor am I. Catherine, is there anything you would have changed?
Not really, but then again, there's a lot of them that I haven't been on the TV side anyway that I wasn't really familiar with to judge which was better. Because again, the only TV show I really watched was Fargo, which still has 2 episodes to go for the season, by the way. Wow, they just pulled it off a minute and a half late, but. What does he mean Hollywood is back? Because it was back last year in 2022 as well.
Yeah. Performing artist says, respect to Oppenheimer. You can still make films with substance that audiences will see. Yay for Cillian Murphy, Cillian Murphy. And Xavier says, what an interesting, fun night with Golden Globes. I can't wait to see the rest of award season. And I agree, guys. Please do join me and hopefully, Catherine, if she's available, for the next award show, which will be on the Burnettwork and on Positive Fandom. Guys, thank you so much. Congratulations, yes, to all the winners. I don't know if they were going to do one or didn't do one. Tom Jr. Jackson, maybe it was done at the other presentation of the rest of the awards, the technical awards sometimes. And yes, Mikey Lito always says, watch content and then form opinion. Just want to thank you all for being here tonight. And I also want to thank Catherine as well for being here. Catherine, we had a lot of fun tonight looking at the choices. Catherine, what are your final thoughts on the ceremonies tonight?
I'll have to rewatch it or watch some of it because I didn't really listen to most of the speeches or the host or anything. But yeah, the wins, I guess, on the movie side of things weren't too surprising. Again, TV, I still have to catch up. But yeah, it was fun. Fun stream.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well, Catherine, and thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Catherine, where can people find you?
Find me a Slice Night on Letterboxd, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and then you can find me on the Fantasmagorium Show YouTube channel. We got a lot of playlists of fun movies and review shows I did with Scotty R37. Currently, we're reviewing the fifth season of Fargo. It's a lot of fun. And you can see me on the Virtual Cantina Network every second and fourth Sunday of the month, streaming at 8 a.m. Pacific, The Unifying Force, which is a Star Wars philosophy talk show, and it's really fun. So yeah.
Fantastic, Catherine. And guys, of course, you can always find me on Positive Fandom, where I do all the parlay and the fandom. Also, you can find me on the Burnettwork here as well as on my new channel, Roman Empire Matters. Thank you so much for Tom Jr. Jackson, our moderator, collaborator, and friend. We are all goof people. And for everybody in the chat who has been so generous with super chats, as well as all of you letting us know your thoughts and concerns about the Golden Globes. This was such an enjoyable Golden Globes. Once again, thanks everybody for your kind words. We're going to be ending the stream now, but we enjoyed all of you coming by, checking out, and just really giving your thoughts and concerns about the awards. Thanks so much to everybody out there. And guys, remember, no matter where you are in the galaxy, always remember to please be kind. Take care, everybody.